evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Kittens of Warp Gaming podcast. It's a change this week. Tony is not with us, so I, Matt Marsander, must step in and take the reins of this. We have with us Tom.
Oh, what? Hello. Yeah.
Hello, Tom.
Hello.
He is there. And Chris.
Hello.
And Haley.
Hello.
In the distance.
I shall
the
come
usual
closer.
three stand with us tonight. So, what we got today? What, Unreal Tournament from you, Tom?
Yes, that one indeed. Unreal Tournament 2004.
One I haven't played, but Unreal Tournaments I've just have gone for ages, so I may have just skipped it. Chris, you got The Witcher.
I do, yes.
The difficulty one.
Mm-hmm.
And Haley doesn't really want to starve with Don't Starve. And if we get the opportunity, I might just discuss Pokemon, because, well, we all grew up in that sort of era where Pokemon cards were a thing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
why not with Pokemon Red?
We're all Pokey veterans.
It's
The original
just
150.
terrifying, though. It's just like, oh, it's just like, yeah, I got this emulator and I got Pokemon for Ruby Red. It's like, no, don't say that, because now I have to get it myself. And
Of course, we don't encourage emulators, do we, kids? No, because piracy is bad.
Yeah, no, play
Very
it
bad.
by the game. You can't play games like that on your mobile phone. It's wrong.
Very wrong. No. Don't do it, kids.
So, have any gaming news to kick off?
I'll tell you what, let's check IGN, see if there's anything of worth. I did my recent one on my channel, didn't I, recently, about shit I was looking forward to.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Actually, I don't know if we mentioned it. Did anyone catch that? Rob Zombie doing the directing when they got the artist for the Walking Dead games to do the Assassin's Creed video.
nice.
What? Oh, crazy.
That is
It's amazing.
cool.
There's like an assassin in it, like right at the end, but it's literally just like the chaos that kicks off the revolution, and it's so well done.
Mm.
And you've got to think,
point-
Rob Zombie directing, and obviously for the Walking Dead games, they get a pretty graphic as well, so it gets a bit weird.
Right.
I can imagine it does, yeah.
Mm.
Not so much gaming news. The only thing come across to me was Studio Ghibli. People panicked and said they were closing down when really they're taking a break and having a massive restructure. It's the only thing I could say, really.
Oh, well, did anyone see it? At Comic-Con and a little bit after Comic-Con, there has been some teaser CGI footage released of a Deadpool film.
Oh, who
yeah.
hasn't seen that?
Yeah.
The one where they genuinely got Ryan Reynolds in to CGI mocap it.
Yeah, and it is proper Deadpool, not the abomination from fucking Origins.
Yeah.
But-
Some people give Ryan Reynolds a hard time for that, but you can't. You can't because you got to blame the screenwriters, the directors, before the actors, don't you?
Yeah, he worked with what he was given, and what he was given was not an awful lot. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I say, look at Ewan McGregor in the Star Wars movies. That was like written by a backwards chimpanzee with chip for a brain or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
The Lord
That's
Lucas
pretty
was
true.
playing at the time.
There's loads of people who are just like, Ben Affleck can't be Batman. Why? Because of Daredevil. Like, Daredevil wasn't his fault.
yeah.
Daredevil just sucked from the beginning.
Well, admittedly, at Comic Con, they did do another, Batman v Superman movie reveal. And they did another small trailer, and they have like a profile picture of him in the Batman get-up, and he looks like Batman in the get-up.
Of course he'll look like Batman in the
outfit.
get-up. I'd look like Batman in the get-up.
You look a bit silly. I mean, come on, let's be fair.
I don't know. I can imagine Matt Stivell just put him in a silhouette skyline and just have the music playing, and he will look the part.
That's it. Just
And
talk
Chris,
with a
you could
really
be
rough
Robin.
voice.
Yeah, well, he's got the look. Let's see if he can pull off the talk and the walk as well.
Well, he is getting better as an actor, so
Yeah.
I've got faith in Ben Affleck. The only thing that really pushed me off is the outfit itself, which looks to me bloody ridiculous.
Yeah, they've gone for more, what was it? They've gone for more Batman Returns.
Comic book style.
Yeah, they've gone
Batman
for...
Returns nipple
more
suit.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I've literally just, you say Batman Returns, and that's all I'm going by. I haven't actually seen it.
Okay, yeah, it's
Like,
not quite
what?
that bad. It makes me think of more Adam West, the traditional one, grey suits, small
That's even
ears,
better.
and pardon?
That's even better. I'll go back with the grey and blue.
Mm.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, not the 90s cartoons. I'm talking about Adam West with the over-large symbol that looks like someone with Parkinson's disease trying to draw an M, and it looks really stupid to me. Yet it's traditional to the comics, fair enough, but not everything to the comics is going to transition to the movies seamlessly, is it?
Yeah, it's true.
It's just very happy with the Christian Bale Batman look. I was very happy with that. The gravel voice was a bit much, but yeah, that was how Batman should look in the movies. With the voice so gravelly, you could line the pavement of every street from here to Guantanamo Bay or something.
Yeah, I do like Christian Bale's voice because it's like it's just so over the top. It's actually quite funny.
It was really good in the first one because he was really intimidating when he gets the crooked cop, hands him upside down. Where are the drugs going? I don't know. I swear to God. Swear to me. That was really good. But then come the second and third one, it was a bit much.
Yeah,
I still feel like a heathen because I haven't even seen the third one.
To be honest,
the only thing you're missing is Tom Hardy as Bane, which is the main reason I enjoyed it. I will be honest.
Well, see, I think I'm part of a small minority that wasn't impressed with Bane as a villain.
I'm not impressed by what I see because I'm thinking comic book like all drugged up on all the uber steroids.
Yeah, he's a luchador, is what he is.
Yeah,
he is.
And they've turned him into this like League of Shadows conspiracy guy, and it's just like
British man with a mask.
No, and yeah, his voice threw me for a loop as well. When I first heard his voice, I was like, "What?" Yeah. It's like, okay, he's vaguely threatening. His voice is kind of cool, but it doesn't fit with the look. For me, well, if that voice was on a different looked villain, say someone like Two-Face, I don't know, for example, that might fit a bit better. Or on the Penguin, it might fit a bit better. But
well, you can't have it for the Penguin. Penguin's very weaselly, isn't he? So you've got to have Cockney or some Danny DeVito with a clothes peg on his nose.
Yeah, but you'd expect that voice to come out of a villain looking like that more, not out of Bane.
Yeah, I will grant you.
Yeah, it's just not the kind of voice you expect to come out of Bane. I mean, you expect a voice sort of like an evil version of Rex from Mass Effect.
Like, that's fine.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
I was going to say, these conversations come quite a long way from just like discussing like Deadpool. Well, maybe we should just step away from comic book films because we could go for hours. And that'd be
can I just say, I just really appreciated that bit of the test footage when you just see the car flipping over, you just see Deadpool holding a crayon picture of him cutting up the bad guy's head.
Yeah.
That made the whole thing for me.
Get back towards games. I'm on the IGN website. We've got Far Cry 4 releasing November 20th this year. And I've seen a couple of the trailers for that, and it looks really good. It's like, especially the long one that was on YouTube a little while ago. It was played as a trailer before a video, and it looked.
Are you about the one that's pretty much the same as it was at the beginning of Far Cry 3?
Well, no, you arrive in like you're sitting in a truck trundling along. I don't know why I'm bouncing up and down in my seat like I'm in a truck. I haven't got a webcam on, douchebag. But and this guy's going, give me your passport. You must be convincing. Let me do all the talking. And then he gets shot, and you get the villain who comes out, who is just eccentric as fuck. And I love eccentric villains. I am I'm okay with big badass evil villains, but I really like eccentric villains.
Every once in a while, you just want someone to camp it up to just the absolute nines, don't you?
Yeah, wasn't the guy from that last one eccentric?
Huh?
Us?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he was eccentric. I would say he was just batshit bananas.
Who?
Buzz.
People would call that eccentric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude was absolute. I'd say he was more badass than eccentric.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he was probably quite a healthy
like staring into the eyes of a shark, wasn't it?
Let me ask you, how different does it look to Far Cry 3?
It looks a bit better actually. The screenshots, it's being remade for next gen consoles as well as the PC, but the screenshots for the PC look absolutely fantastic. They look really nice. They look quite a big step above Far Cry 3 actually.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're changing like where it's based, but I'm kind of fearing that it's going to be meanwhile on the other side of the island. Far Cry 4.
I've heard people voice their concerns that basically they're hoping Far Cry 3 lightning will strike twice and they'll have another one.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. People hope for that, but I mean, I'm kind of worried that with the story-wise, they're going to just try and repeat number 3 and hoping for the same, trying to stick to that formula. And not going for something new and more original. original.
Well, it's hinted in the actual trailer itself that the story is actually going to be different. It's not going to be along the same lines because it's hinted at that you and the bad guy actually know each other.
Okay.
Somehow. Because he kind of greets you like an old friend. He takes a selfie with you and then he kills someone.
Huh.
So, yeah.
I think that might just be him being like an eccentric weirdo.
I was about to say, that would just be the most...
Yeah.
Maybe he's just one of those eccentric friends you just put up with because, you know, he's your mate.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, he's just killed someone. Oh, that's just old Barry, isn't it?
It's like,
Don't
I
mind
know
him.
he's a dick, but I've known him for years.
Oh, hello.
He's got to
This
put up with
looks
some quirks, you know?
interesting. This looks very interesting.
Well, don't keep us in suspense, Chris.
Sid Meier's Civilization Beyond Earth.
Ooh.
Sid Meier's Civilization Beyond Earth launches players into space where they can colonize a new alien world and build a new future for humanity. Ooh. Release date October 2014.
I think we're going.
That's
I'm
been
going
quiet.
to get hands on that.
Interesting. Yeah, that's just popped up recently. That
It's going to be
looks
interesting. Imagine coming across some alien civilizations in the Stone Age, and you're just going to be there, just being a tyrannical dick and just stepping over everything.
be like Spore.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Marching across everything, just like, behold my technology, you with your rocks and fire.
Alien.
I am your god now.
What?
Well, though, let's be honest. If we did have space-faring civilization, you would go to less advanced planets and just be like, "Behold, your god has returned. He now looks like me."
Give me all your shit. What's we got? Halo 5 Guardians, which looked good, but they're playing everything very close to the chest. I tried to find a lot about this actually when I went to do my my little top 5 video. There is like nothing available left on it. There's a few announcement trailers, some concept art, the mysterious figure.
Ooh.
It's almost like trying to see. It's almost like trying to see the same footage of Deadpool over and over again without Fox taking it down, isn't it?
Yeah, and then there's this like big like winged thing that I don't know what it is. There's just so little information about it. Oh, Cortana, was it? Once she appears in the next game is confirmed, but very little is known about what role Cortana will play in Halo 5. Well, she's dead, so unless she appears in like flashbacks, I don't know.
Or they could, I don't know, make a Cortana.
She's a
Mark
bit of
II or
software,
something.
so she could essentially still be alive.
Yeah. Well, I thought she
Recompile or
pretty
something.
much sacrificed herself. Like, that's the way it was built in Halo 4. She split herself into dozens of pieces to distract the Diadact. That's his name? Yeah, the Diadact. To basically try and distract him. Those bits got consumed, and then she reconsumed herself and the Diadact, and poof, and she was gone. And she used her last bit of life to interact with Master Chief, and then she was gone. But in the teaser trailer, he's holding her like little chip thing. So whether she somehow lives, or they do SS mucker it so that she appears in his brain or whatever. I loaded myself into your brain, Master Chief. We're together forever.
Simultaneously, the most sexy and creepy voice you've ever put on, Chris.
Indeed.
I've got a bit of news, which I thought was quite interesting, considering in the first video I reviewed, I was talking about Tropico 5. The Thai government has recently banned the sale of the game in Thailand.
Oh, really?
On what grounds?
Because it would impinge, this is a quote, impinge on Thailand's national security.
That's from the games distributor,
Ow.
because apparently they have a vocation in their government for games exclusively. Why don't we have that?
That just sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm just trying to bend my mind around this. Like it's like Australia banning Bulletstorm.
Well, to be fair,
I can understand that.
they're just really sensitive about blood, guts, and gore.
Well, they've sold number 3 and 4 before, but it seems that because there's more of a storyline in the 5th one where you take on the role of the El Presidente, and they've recently had a military coup come into play in May. I think they're a bit worried about the sensitivity and delicacy of their rule.
Right.
Because apparently games could really infringe how the revolutionary peasants would act.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like, I can run this country better. Look at my PC collection.
I would love to fucking see that. Someone.
That's like turning around and saying, I'm ready to
How
move.
insecure must you
That's like
be
saying, I'm
before
ready
the
to move out
government
because
will
I
come
have
to
27 hours logged on Sims.
This coup is the 18th in 80 years.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
So that's
They're doing good.
how delicate they're. How
How
secure they
delicate
are.
and fragile. I know, it's like
Just every now and then, just some mad general, just like, I want all the power.
I don't want anyone to have it, not even in a fictional world. Destroy all the media where people get to live their fantasies of power.
No, not
Destroy all the things.
Well, did you guys hear? You know, Seth Rogen's got another movie coming up, The Interview, where him and James
Franco kill Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, exactly.
If you release it, it'll be an act of war.
And I
really want to see
hear
that.
And you just think, yeah, pull the other one, mate.
To get
It's
over
not
it.
even that. It's just how often has North Korea threatened global war?
Yeah, they're not
It's
very.
just reached a point where you're just going to shout it. Where you're just going to shout out. You say that so often, it means nothing now. Either cook with some gas or just shut up.
Or just go on then. Bring it.
Come at me, bro.
It's like the whole boy crying wolf sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe that's their scheme. They're going to keep doing it until eventually no one will react, and then that's when they strike.
Ugh.
You heard it here first, YouTube.
I'll tell you what, I'm looking at the stats for the Destiny beta thus far. Holy shit. 6.5 million Guardians were created, enough to populate the city of Seattle 10 times over. 4.6 million players have decided to test it out. And it's just fucking insane. There's like over 4 million players on, 6.5 million Guardians created, over 800,000 concurrent players. There's like 900,000 companion users, like over 88 million games played. Fucking insane. That really took off. Bungie really done well with that.
Let's just hope they can follow through with it.
Well,
There's quite a high demand for it, though, because everyone was just like, oh, it looks so amazing, it had better be good.
Yeah, but as we all know, looks is not the same thing as being good, don't we?
Well, I've heard quite good things. One of the guys I work with actually got hold of the Destiny beta, and he's had loads of fun with it. He hasn't stopped playing it since he got it. And yeah, he says it's kind of bare bones at the moment, but then again, it is a beta, and they are constantly releasing new stuff as well. So it does look like it's going to go, and it could be the next big MMO, and it's a console MMO, which is even more impressive.
Yeah, they could call it that market. That is a niche market, isn't it? I don't think anyone's done anything with console memorpigas. Wait, Defiance was a memorpiga on the console, wasn't it?
It was, but it was shit.
Yeah,
What was Defiance?
it tied in with some sci-fi TV series, but no one really paid attention or cared. I think part of the reason was that their alien swears were too unwieldy.
Well, yeah, no.
They should have just done Chinese swears.
Yeah.
Firefly reference.
We all love Firefly, don't we?
Definitely.
Oh, there is quite a bit of news, actually. There's well, it's mostly movie news I'm actually finding. But
that's the only problem with IGN. It's suddenly just like, I want game news. No, you get no game news. But this new film has come out. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
See, I remember going on IGN and seeing articles about Twilight, and I was just thinking, I didn't come here for Twilight. If I wanted Twilight, I'd stick my head down my toilet.
Twilight, burn it all with all the fire.
There is not enough fire to end Twilight, Chris. We'll accept this. But I think if we're going to have to leave it. No more news.
So, yeah, that's enough news, because otherwise we'll get too distracted.
We'll just lose time.
I am going to put this seed of terror in your mind. Apparently they're talking about making a werewolf Twilight TV series.
No,
a werewolf Twilight TV. No, she shuts up now.
True Blood.
No, not True Blood. Well,
and Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, but it's still Twilight.
I think they're just jumping on the bandwagon.
I've read all those books. It says very clearly, the Volturi says very clearly that they are not werewolves. Just saying.
But they are. They turn from humans to wolves. They are werewolves.
They are animorphs because they can turn into animals at will.
They turn into giant dogs when they wish.
At will.
That's not a werewolf.
No. according to that world. But then
We've
again,
also-
they're vampire sparkle, so you know.
Yeah, they don't have a proper understanding
Hang
on
on,
that.
aren't they referenced as werewolves in the film though?
They
yes,
are, yeah.
yes.
So then they've completely destroyed their own. They've completely destroyed their own source material.
Yep.
No. We're
Which
still.
isn't
Chris,
hard.
Chris, if you look at the movies carefully, you will see there will be some sign on these vampires and they won't sparkle. No
Right.
one actively cares.
Not to rage, must contain
I will
rage.
say now, continuity in the Twilight movies is gang raped repeatedly.
It's just a plot hole mess from beginning to end. The whole thing is just full of fucking holes. It's an absolute shitting mess. It ruins everything that is good about the...
Do you know what? I'm so glad I haven't even watched these films, so I can hold no opinion.
I had an ex who dragged me to every single one. Breaking Dawn Part 1, I could actually eat my own face out
that
of
is
boredom.
such a waste of time. It is such a waste of time film. It's just nothing. They just talk shit and do shit.
However, I do have a thing where I say that I can't comment on something or even rip something to shreds until I've seen it / read it. So
Yeah. Well, I've read all the books. I've seen all the films. The books, while a bit silly, aren't actually all that bad. I'll give them that. The books are actually okay. The films are the biggest abomination ever to hit the big screen ever.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather watch the most rubbish, cheesy, badly animated Christmas special ever conceived than watch any of the Twilights again.
I know what you're referencing.
I am.
nice.
No, not Eight Crazy Nights. The Christmas Tree or something. You know the
Yeah,
one.
the Christmas tree.
Oh, God.
I would rather watch
Speaking
that.
of Twilight, 50 Shades of Grey is now coming out as a
I
movie.
saw that. That is going to be fucking hilarious. That's just going to be like porn on the big screen. How are they
I've
going
actually tried reading that book. I could not get past the contract bit whatsoever.
I got to halfway through the second chapter. Then I threw it away and actually stared intently at my soup, which was far more interesting.
Well, apparently, just the sheer writing of it's terrible. So
I just, oh God, it
Oh,
really
God.
is. Anastasia Steele,
Right,
no
porn.
personality whatsoever. And if she is, she's the most insipid, petty, cunting cow there ever was.
Yeah.
First chapter, she's always she's complaining about how her hair isn't behaving, and she's actually upset that she has to do something nice for her sick friend who's prettier than her, and she's actually jealous that she looks pretty even when she's ill.
Can I just say, you can actually skip out the entire first chapter and it will still make as much sense.
Yeah, that's not a good thing for a book, is it?
No. My writing group at university and I used to rage about it so much. It's ridiculous. It's an abomination to writing.
My
And
only
it
wish for the
becomes
movie
so-
is what's his name, Mr. Grey was played by Tim Curry, because that would just make it for me.
Steve Buscemi.
Oh no, that would be much better.
Jim Carrey.
He could pull that off, though. I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he could do the Grinch and Guy
No,
from a series of
no.
unfortunate events, then yeah, he can do this.
I don't know, number 42, or was it 42 or 43 or something like that? Was pretty good.
We want Christopher Walken as Mr. Grey.
No. Why don't we just cast all of them and they would swap out?
Just cameo.
Well, as consistent as the writing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Every time that, but as many mistakes there are in the books.
I mean,
That's
fuck
how
it, if
many
we're going to
actors
do
you
that.
have playing Mr. Grey.
I mean, fuck it. If we're going to do that, let's have Chuck Norris in there, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Let's get the whole cast from all of the
Anthony
extended
Hopkins.
books. Yeah.
And just literally, they all become Mr. Grey, and it's some kind of mad moment in his head when he's just fighting himself.
You're
And then
writing a better book than the actual book.
This could work.
Yes.
Work.
Let us go to America and go to Fox, because they'll produce any old shit.
Anyway, I think that is really enough news now. We have
I think
tried
we've hit
this
that point.
enough.
Well, it's not news so much as ramble.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll call it a ramble.
this is part of the reason why we do this. Ramble.
Yeah.
Get it out of the system. So I think, Tom, I think you nominated to take yourself first.
I volunteer. Yes, indeed.
Volunteer.
Right,
Okay.
so the game I'm talking about, as discussed earlier, is Unreal Tournament 2004, a futuristic first-person shooter developed by Epic Games and Digital Extremes, part of the Unreal series, and has a few sub-series started from the original Unreal Tournament in 2002. Now, this actually found rather interesting. I mean, I found this little picture on video game memes or something on Facebook, which has actually inspired me to do this. I mean, Unreal Tournaments 2004, when it first came out, cost $40, came with 109 maps, 15 more added as free DLC. There's no required subscription fee for it whatsoever. And if you compare that to games nowadays...
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Just like games nowadays, it's like, no.
You have 4 maps and everything else you have to pay for.
Yeah, exactly. Gears of War, actually done by Epic Games as well. $60. You require a subscription fee to play, but that's Xbox problem, not because of Epic Games. But anyway, you get 4 maps and you get like 3 more as £12 DLC. So
it's ridiculous, isn't it?
And of course, it's now just generic brown shooters, most of these games now, aren't they? This game was just so vibrant and so colourful. There's 10 different game modes to which you can do all sorts of things. My 2 favourite games are Assault, which you get 2 teams, you play on both sides. You have to meet certain objectives in almost cinematic levels, as it were, because one game you're literally playing, it gives it a little fleshed out backstory as well, because, stop giggling. No, because the game itself is based on a tournament where people go through and fight and die. They're reincarnated through some means or something, I don't know, but they just fight for entertainment.
Space magic.
Space magic, that's Space Jesus. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah. Cyber Juju.
Cyber Juju. But no, it's like, I really enjoyed this one because the main campaign is you start off as some slub who just runs through a tournament. You fight other people and you start building up a team to win the Unreal tournaments, fighting other teams. Now, they did release some Unreal Tournament 3 later on, which his main campaign was actually more story-driven, in which there's an alien invasion or some bullshit, and it's just I hated it because it doesn't run with the tournament setting, and that's not many games do that anymore, do they?
You just want to punch and kick things.
No, I just want to be part of the Hunger Games where I shoot people with a triple-barreled Gatling gun and firing my lightning gun into someone's face and just watch them twitch before their body disappears.
So it's sci-fi Hunger Games.
It's sci-fi Hunger Games,
but with older people.
But with
and with better guns.
But without teenagers.
Without teenagers, cool.
And with guns, tanks. These little tri-bladed swamp hopper things in which which one of the functions is you hover close to the gun and just run people over.
Yeah.
And this lovely little this is my favourite vehicle. This little 4x4 tiny little Jeep thing, which secondary fire thing is unsheathing 2 blades on the side, just like an old school Roman chariot.
Yeah, and you just go chopping down shit. That's really good.
It really is. But there's 10 different. It's another one of my little gushing games because I got this when it first came out, and I actually just found this out recently. In 2004.
Yes.
As the title would no doubt suggest to you, but no. What Epic Games actually did, if you sent your old game back to them, they would reimburse you £10 off your game. And no one does that anymore anymore, do they?
No.
Why would they when they can charge you full price for the new thing?
Although if they did that, that would actually encourage people to buy games buy them new instead of buying them second hand, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would, but it also mean less money up front, which is what some of the game developers don't understand. I mean, it's not really the people making the games, it's the people in charge of saying what games can be made, and they just say, oh, pump this shit out, but take this and that out of the game and we'll sell that separately. And it just ruins the game experience as a whole, when the whole game could be sold for a little bit cheaper. Some of the DLC could either be free or with the game itself as like an in-game unlockable, and the game would be more popular, but they just don't understand that aspect of gaming, which is when you can really tell with some games when it's made to make money, not to actually be enjoyable.
The game industry right now seems to want to make all the money. It must have all the money, not some of the money, all of the money.
Yeah.
So it's not a healthy attitude.
One good game to sort of refer to sort of like to sort of take it off on a tangent, but sort of like one game that was sort of made to be a good game, but rather than made to be a moneymaker, it was like Spec Ops: The Line.
Exactly.
I didn't even know that game existed. I just saw it on a shelf, on a pre-owned section on a shelf, and I was like, "Oh, it looks pretty good." It's just, oh my god, it's such an amazing good, and now I suffer from PTSD.
Yeah.
It really did hit you hard, didn't it? We need to talk about that one podcast. But anyway, going back to Unreal Tournament, I really love this one because it is just vibrant, colourful. But not only that, it includes extensive modification support, which the Epic Games did actually take advantage of because they've got this lovely little thing, these lovely little quirks that you could implement on your games and during just instant action when you want to play by yourself and like, 60 other bots. One of them, which is my favourite, is which is the ego, in which if you get a kill streak, your model's head will get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yes.
So it makes it easier to get headshots, and you can tell who's doing the best. But not only that, it's just it was really flexible modification system. And in Epic Games actually held a Make Something Unreal contest, which rewarded the creators. They actually gave cash prizes, computer hardware, and a license for the Unreal Engine 2 and 3. So Red Orchestra, which is a total conversion modification based on the Eastern Front of World War II, it actually won the contest and is currently available as a full retail title on Steam. And Alien Swarm, which not many people have heard of, actually... let me see, was the winner of Phase 4 of the Make Something Unreal contest for Best Non-First-Person Shooter modification. And in 2010, the game was released as a standalone game for free based on the Source engine from Half-Life and not the Unreal Engine. But yeah, you can actually use that in Gary's mod as well, which I have done. I can't really say much more about it. It's just this one...
I think it's one of those games that looks simple from the outside, but there's actually quite a lot more to it than would be suggested from a first glance. Because from a first glance, it just looks like a randomly generated first-person shooter. Whoever hits goal first wins kind of thing. But there's actually a lot more to it. It's a lot more in depth. It's a lot more fun. It's got a shit ton of replayability as well. And Tom, you mentioned the more recent game, the one after 2004, which was UT3. Which you said you didn't like, but
I did enjoy it, but I didn't like it as much. It just the campaign was just really stupid, and because it just wanted to go the realism direction with real people trying to fight a real war in a tournament system where people die and resurrect, and it's just like, then what's the point of a war, really?
Yeah. I did find that a bit weird as well, but I didn't like the story, but I thought the game, I didn't play it for the story. I played it for
the tournament itself.
Yeah, and just because the graphics were better, the physics were a bit smoother, and you had that big four-legged walker thing, which was kind of cool to drive.
Everyone loved the tripods. I love the tripods, but I just prefer 2004 because it's just more colourful. It was just number 3 was prettier, it was shinier, but it was still brown.
I'll tell you what it actually looks like. It actually looks like Gears of War.
Yeah, it does.
It it looks almost exactly like Gears of War, and you can kind of see why they did it, because Gears of War would kind of fit right into that world. But there's just like the whole mechanic and the look of it kind of fits the world, but it's already been done, so it's not new. And they had a kind of good system before with like bright colours and stuff like that. And they had a good game there.
If it even just went with the tournament system in which you just play this guy, you're drawing people in to build a team to win the tournament and win the cup and just slay everyone else, I would have been ecstatic with that. But they didn't. They made some platoon story with these people with these two-dimensional characters in which you've got your basic archetypes. You've got the hero. You've got the second in command. With his sister, you've got the holy man reciting passages as he shoots people in the face with a sniper rifle, which you don't need. It was just tacked on pointlessly, and it just ruined the campaign for me. But as I say, the multiplayer on its own, I was happy with.
Yeah.
Wait! Did you just slate Ty? So I'm just thinking like a guy with the sniper rifle quoting like religious things, like to sort of go, it's Epic Games, so we'll go sort of like it was a Gears of War, but like Ty was a badass in Gears of War.
Yeah, but he died.
Shut up! I know that much. He was still badass.
Yeah.
It just seems to me that Epic Games was trying to make Unreal Tournament
formula.
Well, trying to fit Gears of War formula, which it just, to me, it didn't. It just didn't.
Yeah, they had kind of a good formula to go with. I don't quite know why they did that. I don't know whether they wanted to like try and bring in a new genre or try and like appeal to a different genre of gamers, try and like bring more people into playing it. But I don't know. It just seemed it was a rushed story. Let's say I think they spent most of their time building like the character models and everything like that, getting the multiplayer sorted out, and then went, oh shit, we haven't done the fucking story.
Shit, we forgot about the actual game.
Yeah.
But in 2004, there isn't a story at all, really. There's no story. It's just
a linear story.
There's there's not even a linear story. You just literally have these screenshots of some woman announcing that does this, the same woman who does the announcements during the game itself, just saying, you have now won the first quarter of the match. Now you've got to fight. Now you can now fight an assault. Now you've won the second. You can now fight an onslaught. And that was it. That was all you had in terms of story. You didn't need the story. You made your own story. This was your story. You built a team and you fought with them.
Building your own team was pretty cool as well, actually, because you could hire people, couldn't you?
Well, yeah, you could actually. I mean, that's the first round of games as you had. It starts off as you versus one other player, then you versus two other players, then you versus four, and then it went on from there till it's just like, right, now you can build your own team, but you've got to fight them all to secure your dominance.
Mm.
So pick people, you fight them, you win. They are now yours. You still got to pay them, but they will follow you.
They are bitches.
Well, yeah, that's how I see them now. Actually,
there were like 5 races, weren't there? Oh no, there was 4 races, but there were like 2 factions of humans.
I think there were like 3 factions. Oh, you had main humans, you had genetically modified humans, then you had humans split into a few teams. Then you had the Egyptian humans.
Yeah, then you had like some robots, different robots. You had some big ones as well, some big purple-looking things. So there were a few races in there.
There were a few, yeah. The Scarlex, I remember them because the only reason I remember them because they had a prominent level in Assault in which they were landing on a human ship and space station to blow it up, which was one of my favorite Assault maps.
Mm.
There's something special about just literally just sitting there for half an hour, just slaying everything that comes through your door, just watching the health bar of your doodad you're protecting slowly tick away. You just feel the pressure sliding on and on until eventually, bam, it's gone. Now you've got to retreat back to another spot and do the same. Mm. But there's a few more entrances this time, so you've got to really work hard at protecting this.
Yeah. So, it was a good game. I enjoyed playing it when it was out.
It's available now on Steam. I mean, I got it just recently, and I think it was like, how much was it? Like £10, less than that?
Mm.
But, yeah. It's another one of my games that I recommend with a kitten stamp of approval.
Yeah. Kitten stamp.
Kitten stamp. Boom.
We need to get one of those.
Yeah, we need
to get Tony to do like to do a graphic
like soundbite for it.
Kitten stamp. Boom.
It should be pretty easy actually to get like a kitten's paw print.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'll go and teacher websites and find one. Going off on a tangent.
Going off on another tangent. I can't think of anything else to say about Unreal Tournament 2004. It's a lovely, simple game, but simple games are often the best. It's bright, colourful. I've sunk hours into it for the last 10 years. So, what more can I say? It's not a big
game, but it's a fun game.
I say, if it's a game that's come out in 2004 and I'm still and you're still playing it, it's got to be worth mentioning. I mean, there's a few games that have come out a few years ago that people have just forgotten. I can't get Mind Jack. I suppose you can name one, but that one everyone hates.
Yeah, no one likes Mind Jack.
Sound concept, but just stupid and retardedly done.
Yeah, it wasn't done well.
It was not well done. No.
So, Matt, you got anything to build on? Have we got anything to build on from here?
Unreal? No, I don't think we do, actually.
Where do we go from here?
I think we just end up just sort of talking more about epic games if we carry on with Unreal.
Probably, yeah.
Time for an awkward segue.
I think so. I guess, Chris, it's now you.
It is, yes.
You want to discuss The Witcher?
I do, yes. Tonight I'm talking about one of the, possibly, it's, again, like, from the rage that followed from Resident Evil 5, I'm going back into a game that I really enjoy, which is The Witcher. It is epic. It is what Skyrim, like, would be if it earned its 18 plus rating. Because, like The Witcher is it's basically a RPG decision-based, adventure game, really. It's like action adventure role play, hack and slash. It's got magic, it's got swords, it's got monsters, it's got a deep story, it's got everything. It's got explorable environments. It's not quite on the same level of explorability as Skyrim, but it's
Skyrim. That's because Skyrim's just so vast.
It's just literally a giant map, and
I'd say
sorry, go on, Chris.
To something more recent. It's more akin to Mass Effect, I would say. So
Interesting.
It is, it is explorable to an extent, but obviously you can't go fucking everywhere because there's only bits
comparable to Dragon Age, I suppose. How would you compare it to Dragon Age?
This is miles better than Dragon Age.
Fair enough.
It like Dragon Age pales, and to put it in perspective, I love Dragon Age, but Dragon Age pales in comparison to this. It was made by CD Projekt Red, who are a Polish game developer, and it was published by Atari. It's made on the Aurora engine, and it was released on the PC because no console at the time would have been able to handle it. It was released back in 2007 in around about October for pretty much every country, and it was just a really big hit, and it made like CD Projekt Red's name, really, because it was released on a fairly small budget, but it's one of these games that you can tell that everyone has sunk every second and every penny into, because it looks really nice as well. Like, the graphics are really nice. I mean, if you don't even need like a ridiculously decent computer to play it on the highest settings, because it runs so smoothly, and I haven't found any bugs with it at all. And it's so much fun. It really is. The whole story itself is based around your dude called Geralt the Witcher, who is the most colossal badass in any fantasy game ever. The Dragonborn can suck it. But seriously, he can kill the Dragonborn in about 5 seconds. He just lob a silver sword straight through your throat. You'd be like, oh, and you're going to shout, dead.
Not going to shout no more, are you?
No, and you're Geralt of Rivia is a witcher who are professional monster slayers in the world of in just the world that it's set in, really. And the basic witches in this realm aren't just mercenaries who happen to go after monsters. They are people who have solely dedicated themselves to fighting monsters. So much so that they've taken things called mutagens, which allow them to drink potions which would kill any other person, to allow them to see in the dark, to heal wounds, to boost their magic. They can use many different types of magic spells. One's a typical bog standard fireball spell that you find in every game. There's like a force push spell that pushes people away from you. There's a trap spell. And I think there's another one which is like an ally type. There's one which turns people like against other people. And the good thing about this game, and where a lot of people didn't like it, is that there's a three-tier combat system, which basically means you have 3 different combat styles. You have standard, fast, and heavy. Now, every enemy will require a different style to defeat. You wouldn't be able to defeat someone who requires a fast style with a standard or a heavy. You'd have to use fast. And like obviously vice versa with the other ones. And standard enemies like people, you can kill with a steel sword, but you try and use a steel sword against a monster, it won't do barely fuck all, and the thing will just rip you to shreds. And the same if you try and use a steel sword against a human, it won't do all that much. So you have to combine both the swords and the combat stances itself into your combat strategies. And when you're being attacked by humans and groups of monsters, and sometimes groups of monsters and humans, all of different varieties, all with different powers that you'll need to dodge, and all of them requiring different combats to take down, it gets fucking difficult.
It sounds like a bit of needless hassle, if you ask me. I mean, the different combats,
designed, but it's designed to mimic sort of more a real life approach to it. I mean, it's not just a typical hack and slash. You can't just go wailing your sword around like you do in Dragon Age, or you can't.
Strategy, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to apply a decent amount of strategy. If you don't, I mean, if you go into a boss fight or you go into a fight where or you can kind of work out that you're going to be facing a lot of enemies at once, if you don't prepare for that fight and you don't have your head screwed on, you're going to die, and you're going to die a lot.
See, I've got no problem applying strategy to a hack and slasher, but when you talk about using different varieties of swords for different enemies, that just sounds a bit needless, if you ask me.
Well, because it's more realistic. Because if you go after like a big fuck off creature, it's going to be weak to silver rather than it is steel. So if you wail on it with a steel sword, yes, you're going to hurt it, but you won't hurt it as much as if you hit it with a silver sword.
Okay, fair enough. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but
it's not that you don't do any damage; it's just the damage you do is negligible.
Okay, fair enough.
And it can just go
like that.
Smash. And yeah, all the monsters are really good and really fleshed out. They've all got like loads of backstory to them. Every single monster will have a purpose in the world, or will have an explanation as for why it's there. You won't just find an enemy that's just kind of there and it's a thing.
Generic giant spider number 26.5 billion.
Yeah, and every monster will have its own specific environment. Like you won't find a drowner in a graveyard. You won't find a corpser in a swamp, kind of thing. Drowners are fucking scary.
What are drowners?
Drowners live in swamps. They are basically let's see if I can remember my Witcher lore. They are basically evil people that have died in the swamp, and they're basically so messed up that their souls can't leave that realm, so they're kind of trapped, and they form these like big fuck off messed up fish people. And I know that doesn't sound very threatening.
No, it sounds intriguing.
These fuckers are fast and they hurt. And if these things attack you in a pack, you have literally about 20 seconds to fight them off and try and disperse them a bit. Otherwise,
I imagine that's before you get swamped by them.
Oh yeah, otherwise they'll swamp you.
To use the term.
Yeah, they will eat you, and they look really bad. They make a really fucked up noise. It's just like, oh shit!
Talk about fish not being scary. Clearly, whoever says that has not been around a school of barracuda in their lives.
Yeah, well,
my dad, when he was out in Africa, I mean, he was out swimming in the sea one time. He saw a group of barracuda just staring at him, and he was getting really unnerved because he knew if they wanted to, they could come over.
They're going, "Hey, bro, just swimming, having a nice time." Okay.
Come to the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker.
Be a real shame if someone would take your toe.
Or your leg.
Or your leg.
That's some nice looking toes you got there, boy. Num, num, num.
Never mind, you have the toes, buddy. I've got my eye on that juicy bit of thigh. I don't know why they have those deep south bayou American accents in Africa, but fair enough.
Because of reasons.
South American barracudas living off the coast of Africa.
Look out for them, YouTubers.
Yeah. They're a serious threat.
Yeah. Well, we'll get back to the story in The Witcher as well, because the monsters are quite messed up, and I don't want to get too far into them because those things fucking haunt my nightmares, some of them. But the story itself is you basically start out as a Witcher, and you have no idea what has happened to you. The first cutscene you get is you saving the local king's daughter from a curse that's been put upon her, and you have this really awesomely done CGI fight sequence with it. It is fucking awesome. Seriously, look it up on YouTube later, just the Witcher trailer or the Witcher intro, and it's Geralt fighting one of the monsters from that world. And it's really good. It's such a good little cutscene, and it kind of brings you into what a Witcher does and how they operate, because you see him sort of prep his bits and pieces, take a couple of potions, make sure he's got all the right tools for the job, and then he goes out and he fights the thing, and it's a really epic combat. And then it cuts into the game itself, and it's just you, running through the woods, completely out, completely out of it. Your vision's wavering in and out. You can't focus on anything. You're stumbling all over the place. You can hear these fucked up whispers behind you that are seeming to follow you, but you can't make out what it's saying. You eventually pass out, and you get found by some of your Witcher compatriots who take you back to a castle.
I just had this image of you, Chris, running through the woods, just going, "That did not go well. That did not go well at all."
I immediately regret my decision. but no, and then the whole story from there is you trying to find out who you were, and you meet people that you knew before you lost your memory in the game itself. So it's you trying to piece your memory back together, but also dealing with things that are happening around you, because you're just going out looking to find out what happened to you, maybe get some work along the way, kill some monsters, earn some money, because you're a witcher, that's what you do. And you get drawn into this massive political thing. It's like elves versus humans, because elves are treated like second class citizens, and there's elvish freedom. I know this sounds really cheesy, I know it sounds a bit shit and a bit cliche, but there's elven freedom fighters in the woods, and you get the choice of kind of either siding with one of them or kind of trying to be in the middle. But being in the middle never quite works, because you end up pissing off someone or you piss off both of them. And every decision you make has an impact on the world, and especially towards the end. I mean, if you fuck up a decision, or you make a decision on the fly earlier in the game, it could really fuck you up in the later part, later part of the game, because you'll come across someone who would have remembered that decision and go, "No, fuck you, I ain't helping you. In fact, I'm going to try and kill you." It's like, oh shit, you're actually pretty badass. But it's a really good game. It's really in depth. Like the whole story is really in depth. There is a metric fuck ton of dialogue options with loads and loads of characters in the world. Obviously, not everyone has a line, because that would just be impossible to fucking program. But there's loads of little background lines. People talk to each other. You can do odd jobs as well. You can do fist fighting. There's arm wrestling. There's a dice game. You can get drunk. You can get so drunk that you wake up outside the tavern after an amount of time has passed, which is pretty fun. And we'll get on to probably I'm going to say the most controversial bit of probably all the Witcher games, actually, not just this one, because it's in The Witcher 2 as well. Even if it is a bit more prevalent in The Witcher 2, the whole sex thing. Now, sex in The Witcher, in the first one, you don't actually see the sex happening. What you get is you get a little cutscene of maybe outside where it's happening, and you can hear sex noises, kind of thing.
Someone put a fist through a window or something, that kind of thing. That's all. In fact,
I've just remembered there was a really funny one. At the beginning of the first game, you can save this woman from a load of guys who are going to attack her, who are basically going to beat her up and take her away. So what you do is you have to escort her from where she is. You basically you can either frighten the guys into running away, or you can beat them up, and kill them. But either way, you take her back to her house, and you've got to fight off fucking demon dogs along the way. And this woman is, well, obviously she's a bog standard peasant woman, so she's not exactly going to be good in combat, is she? So she's
freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, she doesn't exactly get in the way, but she's very kind of fragile. Well,
she's a delicate flower.
I go with useless, yeah.
Well, no, she's not useless. She does have a knife. She does defend herself. It's just, obviously, she's got no armor. She's in a dress, so, she dies pretty quickly if you don't keep an eye on her. But,
she's got as much chance in this fight as this hamster does in a snake pit.
Yeah, once you get back to her house, she goes thank you for helping me, thank you for saving me from the dogs. Why don't we? I'll tell you what. Tomorrow night, grab some wine, grab some cheese, and I'll meet you in the old abandoned mill. I went, okay, cool. So went and got some wine, and went and got some cheese. Waited 24 hours. Went into the mill, which everyone thinks is haunted, and of course, as Geralt is a man's man, there was, let's say, a lot of noise from inside this windmill, and there's some kids outside, and because the windmill's so empty, all the noise was distorted to sound like some messed up ghoul, and they were like, "Oh my god, it really is haunted!" and they ran away. I was like, "That's fucking brilliant! I love that."
That's not the humorous bit for me right now. I just had this image of you literally waiting outside this mill, bottle of wine in one hand, lump of cheese in the other, just going, "I'm going to have sex tonight.
I'm going to get me some sex. Oh yeah."
Wine and cheese. Why specifically
big,
cheese?
powerful
wine,
witcher.
why cheese?
I don't know why it was wine and cheese. It was just wine and cheese,
Why not wine and cheese?
What is this, France?
Mm.
Is that your lady, Haley? would you find
Yeah, so
cheese
you don't
especially
see
amorous right
sex,
now?
but anytime you
Fart, doesn't it?
anytime you have sex with a character, you get sort of like a playing card, I guess you could call it. That yeah,
Baseball cards.
they're not actually pornographic. They're actually quite stylistically done. It's not like it's like boobies, vagina, but it's done very stylistically. There's occasionally a bum or maybe a boob or two, but it's never like full on frontal nudity. They're actually quite stylistically done, so I don't know where all the rage came from for it. It's not like it's just copied and pasted from a porn mag or anything, which really angered me actually, because it's done stylistically. It's not done in an exploitative way. You can't just have sex with these characters randomly, apart from a couple of the whores, but that's only if you've got enough money. But
the thing is, it's like we were talking about when it came to Mass Effect. It's like there's clearly no sex, but there will be outrage because sex happened.
Because some people are so disturbed by the idea of anyone having sexual desires, just revolting.
Yeah, but in this world, it fits because you're not the big archetype hero who's good on all counts. You are just a dude who likes to get drunk, who just happens to slay monsters, who who has sex.
And if some peasant
wants
going to come up with
he is an average dude.
Cheese and wine, then yeah.
Though arguably, he doesn't quite sound like an anti-hero, does he?
I don't think he's quite an anti-hero. It honestly depends how you play him, because he either can be an anti-hero who you just go, oh well, I guess I've got to fucking do this, but he can also go, okay, I might not want to do this, but it is the right thing to do, so yeah, I'm going to go do it. But it honestly depends how you play it. I mean, you can play it like an absolute dick and choose not to help anyone. Of course, everyone gets really pissed off at you, and it makes the game a lot harder to play. But he does have some fun dialogue options because he does swear at people. He will just straight up stab people if they get on his nerves.
I'm actually quite intrigued by this now, being able to play it as just the guy and not the stalwart hero of the land or stalwart dick of the land.
Oh, yeah. And I think by far my most favourite character in the game is your dwarf friend. You meet this dwarf that you've known for years and years and years, but obviously, you've lost your memory. You don't know who this guy is, and he just rocks up to you and goes, "Geralt, how's it been, man?" And you're like, "Who are you?" "Let's get drunk." Okay.
Oh, just like you, Geralt, pretending not to know me. That's old Geralt, you crazy bastard. Let's go have a pint.
Yeah, and he's actually really good. He's like a really good, useful character, actually, because he sells stuff. He's got a really useful side quest. If you complete his side quest, he he gives you quite a lot of money and some useful stuff. There's a lot of customization in this as well. You can you don't buy armor specifically. You get upgraded armor sets that you can buy. Those require different materials that you find around the world by defeating monsters and exploring places. Some of them are really difficult to find, and you will only have a singular chance to get them, to get the ultimate upgrade, which is really good, which looks sexy as hell. Because he's not just a fully armored knight. He's just a dude with some leather armor, and that's about it. And he's got his Witcher sword, which the Witcher sword is actually a really nice design. I do like that. The whole game revolves around you and the decisions you make. There's loads of characters you can befriend. There's people you can make enemies of. Every decision has an impact on the world. So there are lots of women to romance, but obviously romancing some of them will piss other women off, and then they won't be your friend anymore because women are like that.
As women folk do.
I saw you talking to her the other day.
How dare you, sir? Well, yeah, it's really good. You've got a little medallion which lets you know when monsters are near, so you can go and hunt them down. All the monsters are really well designed, and they're really imaginative. Every type of monster is different from the other. A few of the more I'd say bog standard monsters, like the minion level monsters, can be a bit copy and paste. They look the same, they might be a different color, but again, this wasn't a very high budget game, so
like Final Fantasy used to do with their monsters, right?
Yeah, pretty much. but they do all act independently. They won't just all charge you in one singular mass. Some of them will hang back and attack you if you start getting weak. which is really annoying. Some of them can be really fucking annoying, actually. They're like if you put it onto like the higher difficulties, then all the monsters start thinking tactically. They're not just mindless killing machines. They'll
bit of flesh.
It's like, oh shit, I might have bitten off more than I can chew with this one. Whoops. Or shit, I didn't take a potion before I went into this fight. Now I'm gonna die. Yeah,
Run
pretty
away.
much. And the potions are quite good as well, because you can take different potions to there's one that helps you see in the dark, one which increases magical power, and they all do lots of different things. You can create different potions as well. There's also like a level up skill tree system, which is actually really easy. It's one of the easiest to use control like level up systems that I've actually found. It's easier than Mass Effect, because everything is clearly laid out. Everything is clearly explained as to what it does. You can see all the upgrades that are coming up next, so you can plan how you want to build your skill trees and stuff. And it's just a really good game. And the thing that they did really well in this, they must have realized that this is a good game, and they're probably going to make another one, because every decision you make in this game features in the second game.
Ooh,
there'll be kind of games you see in the second game, and you'll actually see. I mean, it's not like Mass Effect. You will see the consequences of your choices, and there will be people who won't ally with you at all because of your choices, and they will try and kill you on the spot. And there'll be factions that you won't be able to ally with because of your decisions in the first game. And also, where it differs from Skyrim as well, in Skyrim, whether you join the Stormcloaks or the Imperium, you can pretty much, until you actually complete the last mission, you can pretty much switch sides at the drop of a hat, really. You can switch sides pretty easily in that game, but in this game, as soon as you start doing things for certain people, you get more tied in to their campaign. So you become more tied in. So the other faction will be less and less welcoming. They'll be okay with you a little bit at first, but when word starts to trickle back to them that you're helping out their allies, they'll start to get more and more hostile towards you, up until the point where they attack you on sight. So it's pretty.
That's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
I always do like the ones that sort of carry over from a previous, especially considering it's just like what happened? I don't remember.
Yeah, and actually, I'll talk a little bit about The Witcher 2 as well, seeing as they're both very, very tightly ingrained. The story behind The Witcher's lost memory is delved into in more detail in number 2. In number 1, I think it's more the setup for the world and the setup for the story as a whole, because it focuses more on the story, the world, the culture. There's an absolute metric fuck ton of backstory in this game as well. It's on Elder Scrolls level.
Damn.
It is that deep. There is so much shit you can find about this game, and there's loads of text that you can read as well. And some of these you have to read text. It's not just Oblivion where it's filler. This is shit you have to read to find out how to defeat monsters. Because you're going, if you're going to go after a monster, you won't get told. There's no hints about, there's no pop-up hints on how to defeat these things. You need to go, some of them, you need to go find a book to find out how to defeat these fuckers. And because some of them will require a certain combination of moves, or some of them will require a certain potion to defeat because they're poisonous and they can kill you instantly, kind of thing. So
cool.
Yeah. So the kind of fluff in this game actually has a purpose.
How do I beat a certain boss? Find out your own damn self. I'm not telling you. What do you think this is? Hand holding?
Well, yeah, this is like villagers. If they go ask you to take something out, they're not going to know every little thing about this monster. It's just the monster that lurks in the woods that's been hunting and killing and skinning their fellow man. They don't know what what it is, how it works. They don't know its weaknesses. They just want it got rid of. And you're a witcher. That's your fucking job. Go do it.
They say the monster in the woods, it can be killed every third Friday with a steel spoon. They don't do that.
St. Helena or butt cheeks. We will pay you 10 gold to go and get rid of our monster. It's like
every village needs to be now West Country because that just makes it, doesn't
every
it?
village is West Country in some shape or form.
Fucking sold. I'm in it now.
Well, yeah, all the characters are really good as well. Some of them are really fucking funny, actually. They're really well written, and the voices are quite well acted as well. All the all of the supporting characters for Geralt are good as well, and you actually have useful supporting characters as well. One of them, Triss Merigold, she is hot. She is hot. She is a sorceress. She is an all-round badass. She don't need taking care of. She could quite easily kick Geralt's ass.
She don't need no man.
Yeah, she don't need no man. In fact, there's actually a bit where she actually kicks the shit out of someone who tries to take advantage of her because she's a woman. She just straight up owns them. So, damn, woman. But yeah, it's really good. Yeah, there's just so much story behind it. There's so much to do. I would read the wiki for the story, but honestly, it's something you need to experience for yourselves.
So you've quite intrigued me. So no spoilers, please.
And it's got like the ultimate twist ending as well. The ending is so good.
Don't say that because now it's not a twist anymore, is it?
Now we're
expecting
something
a
to
twist.
change.
You can't say that, Chris.
But it's so good. When it happened, I was like, oh, no.
No, we're expecting it.
What does this mean for our hero? What's going to happen? Oh my God. I need to play the second game and I need to play.
Tune in next time.
Yeah, it's like, tune in next time on The Witcher. And then, yeah, number 2 carries on pretty much where it left, where you left off in number 1. I think it happens a little bit afterwards, but it kind of picks up a little bit after, and like shit's going down in number 2. Number 2 is actually a lot more fast paced than number 1. Number 1 you can kind of take your time with, but number 2, the first act is, pardon me, the setup for it. The second act is where shit starts going down. The third act is just, yeah, shit's really going down now. You better get a handle on it. It's like, fuck, everything's going wrong. Yeah, it's so good, and I'm so excited for The Witcher 3. So excited, because every screenshot for it looks absolutely fucking beautiful. It looks so nice. And the monsters in it look amazing. Everything looks well designed. They've expanded the world more as well. It's still not going to be on the level of Skyrim, but it's going to be even more open world than it was in the first one. And I was still impressed with how big the first one was and just how much you could do in the first one. It's just like The Witcher 3 is so good. I'm so looking forward to it. And it's like I think The Witcher 3 is coming out on PC and all gen consoles. I think it's coming out on just about everything it can be released on.
Not going to be on phones, though, is it?
On phones, I would be fucking impressed if it was. That would be epic. It would probably destroy your phone's memory, but yeah, that would be amazing.
You could try.
It's no longer a phone anymore. It's your Witcher 3 device.
Yeah. Yes. Before we move on to Hades' game, something I will say, which tells you just how proud the Polish are of this game. When The Witcher 2 came out, they were so happy about it. They were so happy about how it turned out that the president of Poland took a copy of this game and presented it to Barack Obama.
That's amazing.
Nice.
I just imagine Barack just sitting back in his armchair with a controller in hand, just like, let's see what this news.
Hey, darling, you need to lead the free world. Slow monsters, fuck off.
I'm the leader of the new free world now.
I am Geralt of Rivia. Get me some white hair dye and some swords and some leather armor. That would be amazing. I really like a candid shot of like Barack Obama just in like a pair of shorts, flip flops, and a t-shirt, wearing a white wig, playing The Witcher 2, and just go, yeah.
So, I mean, why do you think we've seen all these pictures of him working out? He wishes to be The Witcher. Yes,
he does, because Geralt is the ultimate man.
Geralt Obama. That's Geralt's actual second name.
It's interesting you say that, actually, Chris, because I'm actually really interested because I like story-driven games, and fantasy is my genre. And it does seem that the character is, whilst he has his personality and trying to find his personality, he's there for you to imprint your own personality. But the game does seem rather limited with regards to its targeted demographic.
I think it is, yeah. I mean, it was made to like appeal to people who just like RPG, hack and slash, and like and just games of that genre. And it's it's actually very unapologetic of that fact. It's just like, this is a game that we've made because we like games like this. Hopefully other gamers like us who like this will like it. They're not trying to appeal to all gamers. They're not trying to put shit in that, like you know, it's just a plug to every genre to try and get people into it. And I actually quite respect them for that, because
that's what games need to do nowadays, don't they? Because
it's just a game.
You try and generalize it, but no one's going to enjoy it.
You
as much.
say that, but I'm pro-female gamers, and this doesn't seem like a very pro-female game.
Female gamers can get into this. There are some fucking strong female leads in this. Triss Merigold is fucking badass.
I'm sure, but the main character who you're supposed to imprint on doesn't seem very female-friendly. Whilst you have female side characters, that's great. But the main character that you're meant to imprint on, it is limited. I don't even think bisexual or lesbians would really would appeal to that. Well, I mean, I'm going on the sexual.
I mean, it's not like he's a misogynistic douchebag.
Yeah.
Like he is like for women. It's just like he's a regular dude who's just trying to get on with shit, find out who he is, and earn some money. I mean, it's not like he's. Let's try and find. He's not Master Chief, for instance. He's not. I mean, Master Chief, I don't really see it appealing to a female audience.
I need a weapon.
Yeah, yeah, because he's just like, I am man. I blow stuff up.
I think that's what you said every once in a while.
What?
I need a weapon.
Yeah,
no,
but
you said that.
Yeah, I mean, he does interact with women quite well. There's like you know, he does have respect for women. You know, if they give him lip, he's going to give them lip back. But you know, he does have respect for women. Like, the women in the game aren't the atypical damsels in distress. Yeah, there are a couple, but the ones that are kind of ones that are poking fun at the stereotype, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
So they're there to kind of poke fun at the damsel in distress stereotype, and there's lots of other stereotypes it pokes fun at as well. It pokes fun at a lot of like male stereotypes as well. In fact, Geralt himself actually pokes fun at some of the male stereotypes, and he takes the piss out of quite a lot of people.
There's this wonderful Easter egg in The Witcher, isn't there, where you see a guy in a white cloak crashed into a bale of hay, isn't there?
Is there?
Yes, it's an Assassin's Creed spoof. He sees a guy who's crashed into a hay bale, and he's just like, some people just don't know.
So yeah, well, I think this could appeal to a female audience. I mean, like if you like RPG adventure games, this is a game for you, whether you're male or female or somewhere in between. I think it is a good game for anyone who enjoys this type of game. I mean, if you're more along the lines of like linear gameplay, it's not going to appeal to you because there are other things to do. It does require a lot of tactical thinking, so if you're there for a straightforward game like Skyrim, it's not going to be for you. You're just going to get frustrated with it. I mean, because it frustrated me when I first played it, because I wasn't used to the combat system, and the combat system does take a bit of getting used to. I will admit it is a bit finicky when you're first getting into it, but once you get the hang of it, it's fine, and it's completely usable. You can switch up all your you can switch up everything quickly, and you can pause combat, which is quite helpful. You can pause combat, target someone, change your style, and it will change the style so you can fight that person. And if you need to swap to someone else, you can pause it, change target, and then attack that person with a different one. So it's not like you have to do it all on the fly in the middle of combat.
Is it turn-based combat?
Oh no, it's not turn-based. It is real-time combat, but you can kind of pause the combat.
I can imagine sort of pausing combat in similar sort of fashion as sort of like when you issue orders to your guys in like Mass Effect, for example.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly what I was going to say, actually. You know, when you hit the bumpers for Mass Effect and it just goes like, and you get to choose a power to direct at someone, it's sort of like that, really. You just hit the space bar, the combat stops for a second, you just like click on someone to target them, click to change the style if you need it to, hit the space bar again, and it'll just change up his style and batter that person to death. Because he's Geralt and he's badass.
Why? Because he can.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, Geralt does have his issues as well. He's not a
Perfect.
hero that doesn't have his own issues. I mean, he's just I mean, there are points where he's just like really, really down on his luck, and like everything's going wrong for him. Like he's got problems with his past that come out throughout the game as well. Like he did something really bad in his past, and it comes back to haunt him in a big way at one point. Like you get accused of being an alcoholic at one point. If you start drinking too much, you get like a small. You basically get liver, like the game's version of liver disease if you start drinking too much, which is a bit bad. And there's lots of little status effects as well.
Actions and consequences.
Yeah, your actions have consequences in the game, If you get drunk too much, you won't be allowed back in a pub for a little while. If
You're barred.
Yeah, if you kill someone, even accidentally, they're like, the whole village will be against you. And there's loads of little things to do as well. And, the latter half of the game is actually really good. That's when it starts picking up a bit. The first part of the game is a little bit slow, but I think it's better for being a bit slow because you need to get used to it, really. Because it's a very different type of RPG. You need to get used to, the combat system, how to do things, how to find stuff out, where things are and everything like that. But the second half of the game is where it all kicks off, and then it's all fun, fighting monsters in sewers and going into dream realms, fighting mages, and just fighting fucked up shit that comes straight out of your nightmares. It's just, I don't want to fight that. It looks like a mutated anus.
I'm going to have nightmares about that now. Thanks,
Psycho
Chris.
bumhole!
Oh, God!
Oh, I should not have looked at that picture. Oh, I forgot that existed. Oh my God, it's like a baby with octopus tentacles and about 6 rows of teeth and dead white eyes. Oh my God. No, click away, go.
Everyone now listening to this on YouTube are going to try and Google that image now.
Yeah. Just
baby with octopus tentacles and 6 rows of sharp teeth and dead white eyes.
And it's big. I will say that The Witcher 2 is actually a little bit more graphic with its sex, but it's sort of done in the Mass Effect style. It's just a little bit more adult. There's more boob, there's more bum, and they're a little bit longer, but it's not full-on sex at all.
But it's a full 18 certificate. What are people going to expect?
Yeah. I mean, it's like movie sex, really. It's like movie sex. That is what it is. It's like an 18 rated movie sex.
You just have that clip and just artistically dial fade in, fade out music.
You see just as much boob in Titanic, let's be fair.
As the camera pans to the curtains.
Yeah.
Good stuff happening here, all implied.
Yeah, and the women you have sex with in this game aren't just bimbos. Yes, there are whores in the game you can have sex with, but that's just the world it is. There are whores in this world.
Deal with it.
I mean, some of the characters you have sex with in like The Witcher 2 actually really, really badass. There's like one warrior chick who's got like loads of tattoos. She's a fucking badass. Like she actually leads quite a large proportion of the army just through fear. Because they're worried if they piss her off, she's going to just take their testicles and play with them.
Put them on string and hang them
It's
around
suddenly
their neck.
just like, do it. Why? Or I make your balls juggling balls.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was questioning you earlier, Chris, wasn't I? When we were talking earlier before we started recording about the necessity of sex in a fantasy story/game.
Yeah, I honestly think it depends on the game world itself, and just the character. It depends. On my perspective, it depends purely on the game. In some games, yes, you can have sex in there because it would fit into the world. In some of them, it's not needed because it doesn't fit into the world or it doesn't fit into the story. It's just there for a set of tits. But in The Witcher, it does fit into that world because the world is constructed that way.
Okay.
So what about Fable? Because I mean, that's a fantasy game.
No.
Okay, I'm talking about the first one. I'm ignoring the other two.
The first one. The first one, that's a bit tricky because you do become an adult later on in life, and there is some element to settling down. But in that world, it's not set up for like full blown sex. I mean, adopting a kid, fair enough. Having a missus, fair enough.
It literally just blanks out. You hear just a few suggestive noises and, ooh, my hero. And that's it.
Yeah. I just don't... See, in that world, I don't think it's necessary because that's more.
I'm inclined to agree.
I classify that as more a kids version of like a medieval role play game. I don't think it's needed in that world at all. There's no setup for it. The world isn't set up for it. Your character isn't built for it. Like, you can be a rogue, but there's never any kind of like, build up to you being some kind of like someone who'd take pleasure in having sex, really. And that's kind of the setup for it. There's no build up for that kind of thing. Whereas in games like The Witcher and Skyrim to a lesser degree, even in Skyrim, I don't think sex is necessary in Skyrim.
I don't think there is sex in Skyrim, is there?
No. You can like adopt a kid, you can marry someone, but you can never actually do anything. And that's kind of the point. They're like the developers, someone probably suggested it to them, and the developers just looked at it and went, "Well, why? There's no real setup for it."
For the purpose of what?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like there's a bordello anywhere in Skyrim. There's not a whorehouse anywhere.
Considering it's the oldest profession, I'm suddenly that's a bit weird thinking about it, but for the game purpose, that's just for the
stables, there's assassins, there's a thieves guild. Why is there no guild of courtesans? I demand horse.
That goes with what I was saying earlier with when I was back at uni studying fantasy, we were told very strictly that fantasy and sex doesn't go together generally, and my tutor stressed that generally, because fantasy derives from fairy tales, which derive from children. So putting sex and fantasy together is a bit difficult because there's still that link to childhood and children. With regards to The Witcher, it sounds a lot more gritty and focused more on
dark growing up fairy tale.
Yeah, it does. It feels. It sounds like a lot more of a gritty, middle-aged man fantasy. Well, not in a sexual fantasy, but in a fantasy genre.
Yeah. Well,
escapism, perhaps.
To flip it up for a minute, and to argue it from like a philosophy perspective. Children's tales are adapted from fairy tales that were made to be dark. When they were first written, they were made to be shocking and dark.
So
they were meant to shock
fairy
and
tales.
steer your children into, taking in the lesson that was portrayed in the actual story itself. They've been dumbed down and sugar-coated over years go past. I mean, Red Riding Hood, that has a really that was actually
don't
really
talk
dark
to strangers for the love of Christ, or they'll rape you and eat you.
Yeah, that was that was a really bad one. Hansel and Gretel, that was really dark when it was out as well.
Away from old ladies.
And yeah, it's just like it's been dumbed down a lot over recent years to kind of pander to kids' innocence, but I can understand that. That's perfectly fine. But where The Witcher goes, it doesn't so much take. I mean, it doesn't just take characters straight out of kids' fantasy and kids' fairy tales and drop it straight into this world. Some of these monsters are made purely for the world of The Witcher. There are some recognizable ones in there, like harpies and things like that, but. It's not like you'll get the big bad wolf in it or anything, or the headless horseman or anything like that. So it kind of steps away from that a little bit. I mean, if things like that were in there, I'd argue that, yes, sex probably wouldn't have a place in there because it would be derived from, stories like that. But, I mean, it's just a real grey area.
It seems to be an interesting route because I've read quite a few books now that seem to be heading more down a dark fantasy. Well, we've all seen in, say, like shops like Waterstones, there's a dark fantasy section which is reserved for the the most stupid books to actually put in that section. I imagine books that are similar to The Witcher would belong in there better because it is a dark fantasy.
Yeah,
but people abuse the genre of dark fantasy now, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They think it means falling in love with a
vampire
dark creature, which is ridiculous and beyond acknowledgement. So I think that actually dark fantasy does encompass books and the genre where you're taking fantasy and looking at it from a grittier, darker perspective.
Yeah. Well, this is more like this is taking things like that and looking at it from like a real life perspective. It's like, what if there were dudes whose job it was to hunt monsters? They didn't hunt monsters because it was the right thing to do, or it was their purpose in the world. It's just their job. It's what they do. They
It
are
pays the bills, you know.
Yeah.
yeah. They do it to earn money. They don't do it to earn glory and fame. They do it to just earn
Because
your
they
coin.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it takes a more realistic approach to the whole Monster Hunter thing, really.
Yeah.
And it's a darker, grittier world. It's a more realistic world. So, as for having sex in it, I think it fits into the game world, and I don't think there is any problem with it whatsoever. It's portrayed well. It's not it's not done pornographically. It's portrayed stylistically. You have to work for it as well. It doesn't just happen on time. I mean, yes, you can pay for whores, but that's
So
part of
real
the game lore. It's there. It is a dark, gritty world. There are whorehouses there. There's drugs in the game as well. There's fucking drugs in the game. You can get your character hooked on skooma, or you can take down skooma rings, and there's people that try to sell you drugs and stuff like that. So
You want to buy some death sticks?
you don't want to sell me death sticks. I don't want to sell you death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life. I want to go home and rethink my life.
Favorite bit from Attack of the Clones. I love that bit.
It's awesome. That made me shit a brick.
It's the only bit that's good. All I know, right, is that I can write a good sex scene, but when I try and put it in with my fantasy stories, it doesn't fit. So maybe I'm just writing the wrong type of fantasy story.
Speaking of dark fantasy movies where you fall in love with a dark creature, I'm waiting for the story where a woman falls in love with Cthulhu and has a stable relationship with him.
Do you know what? That could happen
that's terrifying.
That will happen. That probably has already happened in a hentai movie.
Yeah,
Japanese. Yeah, I see it.
For those of you who don't know what hentai is, don't Google it.
No, I know what you're doing. I see you
that noise.
moving
Go
your
Google
cursor
it.
over to the internet. No, stop it.
Go Google
Right
it.
now.
I see what you're doing. Get away.
Don't do it.
No, the
Devil's
things, the
advocate.
darkness.
I'm telling
Your
you.
mother will tell you off.
There are things in the internet that must not be seen. They will warp your mind and distort your soul. Run, my son, and cover your eyes.
Hey guys. Search 2 Girls 1 Cup. Honestly, you work.
Oh God, I haven't even looked, and I know.
I put my girlfriend
know.
off chocolate ice cream. There's literally just no more.
Oh man.
We're not encouraging this. Don't.
I
just
am.
Stay away from Google for the next 10 years, kids. All right, just don't touch it.
The internet is an unsafe place.
Run, cover your
For
eyes. I believe I
sake.
covered that.
Google the destroyer of innocence for decades.
We are not helping.
So I think we're done.
Yeah, we
Chris,
are done with the
covered
Witcher.
up. You
Yeah.
covered up with the Witcher.
We've covered porn now, haven't we?
Yeah,
I think we have.
Yes.
I think porn in fantasy, and now we've just discovered Cthulhu love. I think we're a step away from that one.
Everybody loves Cthulhu.
Moving. Speaking of Grimm's fairy tales of people trapped in the woods, why don't we go start talking about Don't Starve?
Well played.
The Witcher's kitten approved, by the way. Move on.
Badoosh. Kitten stamp. Anyway, Starving in the Woods.
Right, I feel like I'm not going to do it justice because you guys are going to say, well, what about this bit? Well, what about this bit? So let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
I haven't played
decided-
it, so I can't butt in.
Chris, get ready.
Okay.
I decided an hour ago I'm going to do this, so here we are. Don't Starve is a game where the title says it all. Don't starve. Your objective is not to starve. Most of the time, that's not what kills you. Starvation is mostly not what doesn't kill you. Usually it's something a lot worse. Be it a tentacle leaning on from the porn,
Oh, those tentacles give me nightmares.
or various other things where actually the technical term would be not were-pigs but pig wolves, because were means man. So yeah, there we go.
Sonic.
Sonic.
Told you what I was referencing.
Yeah, because they called Sonic a werehog, which is a misnomer. Anyway,
here we go. It was influenced and spearheaded by Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Yeah, it's here.
No, spearheaded this. Hang on.
The game was influenced
by.
Lola, which was spearheaded by this trend, as well as filmmaker. But yeah, okay,
Tim
so it was
Burton
basically influenced by Tim Burton. The style, the artistic style, it's hand drawn. A lot of people actually do this. So I've got a fly on my screen. a lot of people have it's open for modding, so there's a lot of mods on Steam and various other places. Sorry. And yeah, I mean, the art style is beautiful. The story itself, it starts, you don't actually have a story in the game. You go onto YouTube and you find the video that tells you the story, the introduction, so to speak, where the initial story follows a scientist named Wilson, who finds himself in a dark, dreary world and must survive for as long as possible. And that's it. That's the story.
Simple enough.
Sorry?
Simple enough.
Simple enough and hard enough. Because you start off simple, finding food, finding grass, finding twigs, killing things.
Lighting fires to fend off the darkness.
Yeah. And there are elements, there are a few things. You have your health bar, you have your hunger bar, and you have your sanity bar. So you have to weigh these few things. And in the latest DLC, the Reign of Giants, thank you, Tom, you also have a moisture bar. And this isn't leading on from the porn talk earlier.
I guess that's so you don't dehydrate.
It's talking about when you get wet from the rain, which is a new feature.
So if you get damp, you get cold.
And if you get too wet, you get cold and then start freezing to death.
I
don't think... Yeah. Have you not played the new bit?
I haven't played that one, actually.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I couldn't wait to get that bit. I didn't mention that KITN Entertainment, I hope I'm saying it right, are the developers of the game. And they're putting their heart and soul into it, really. I think it's their first game, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's their first.
I'm not entirely sure.
And only, but they're putting so much into it. And this is meant to be a single-player survival game. But, and here's a big but, which is causing a bit of controversy. The KITN have actually said that they are going to release a multiplayer DLC soon, called Don't Starve Together.
Oh, cool.
So
which I'm really excited about because I'm going to grab everyone and we're like, yeah, we're all going to play Don't Starve Together. So we're going to have a Kittens Don't Starve Together. This is a forewarning, guys.
Yeah. Well.
Which will be fun. But some people are like, well, you said it wasn't going to be a multiplayer one. You said it was going to be first player. So that's going on the internet currently. But Cleve said clearly that it doesn't affect the single player. You can play single player, you can play multiplayer. To be honest, there are currently mods that allow you to play multiplayer at the moment, but it seems too technical for my simple brain. So there you go. Going on to the mods, there are thousands of mods on par with Left 4 Dead level mods. There's just so many, and people have complained saying that a lot of the mods make it easier for you to play the game. Just saying, the game is really hard to play. If you can find something that makes it easier, great, because it's hard. You get different familiar characters to play. Some people have designed characters like Markiplier, who is a popular YouTuber.
We keep dropping that name on this channel, don't we?
We do a lot, yeah.
Markiplier, we love you so much.
Notice me, senpai. Another link to hentai. Wow, we're full of it tonight, aren't we?
Jesus Christ. Tony's away for one night, and look how much we degraded ourselves.
Just slips into smut.
What have we become?
Do you think we should put an age warning at the beginning of this podcast?
Warning. Hentai references.
Just at the beginning, warning, this podcast goes to some dark and dirty depths. We talk about all kinds of nasty things. You have been warned.
Oh, dear. Oh, but there's
Tony, put that at the beginning.
There is so much in this game. Of course, I like Minecraft and other survival games that are crafting elements. This was my first survival game that I played. My first encounter with crafting, because I have never done Minecraft before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was going to hear the shocked. But there you go.
I know many people who still haven't played Minecraft.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Not that big a deal then.
No, good. I don't really want to. I'd much rather this, actually, because the art style is beautiful, and you have different, depending on what character you play, you have different encounters with the other creatures there. So you have Beefalo, there are goats with the Reign of Giants DLC, you have pigmen, who are the creatures that turn into werepigs. Not werepigs. I did it! Okay,
pig wolves.
So they turn into werewolf creatures on the full moon.
They're the closest things you get to natives, I suppose, because they do talk and they do have little tribes and stuff.
They are enemies with the fishmen, who also try and kill you, no matter what creature you are. There are also
came straight over from The Witcher, you know.
Drowners.
You also get the wolves, who will they're the hounds. They will just come and attack you no matter what. And every so often they come and hunt you down to attack you, because they.
The thing is, you say like, depending on what you should pick. So it's not like generic, you are generic player one. Like, you can pick a character.
You play a character.
You start with Wilson and you unlock characters depending on how many days you survive.
Okay.
My favourite is Wigfried, who is a character from the Reign of Giants DLC. And she's basically an actress, a ginger pigtailed actress who's playing a Viking. Yes,
she's
a Viking,
Valkyrie.
A Valkyrie. Fine, a Valkyrie, but I say Viking. Anyway, so she has her hat and her spear, and she says to all forms of vegetables or fruit, "That's no food for a warrior." So she'll only eat meat. So this means you have to kill things straight away.
Fair enough.
Which is different.
Yeah. But it's so fun because she's so strong. She's irritably slow, but she's so strong.
She speaks with a Skyrim accent as well. But
And
the game is very stylized because there's no voice acting. It's just everyone has a particular instrument. Like Wilson, he's got this weird little fluty thing going on. Wendy's this very tin pipe thing. And what would you say that Wigfried has? Like a bugle horn, that kind of thing.
To show their speaking. But it's absolutely beautiful and fun. And do you know what? A lot of people have actually complained, saying, "Oh, it gets so boring after a while because it's just the same." Not if you only live to. I think my record was 105 days.
That's a big deal. I mean, the longest I've lasted is 22
well, it's not
days.
that much of a big deal. Others have lasted longer, which props to you guys. I'm impressed. But with this game, it does. You can make it different with the mods. You can make it different with how you play it each time. You can make it different with the characters. There is also, as well as the world, which consists of savanna, scrubland, grass, swamps. I love swamps, and forest areas. You also then get the underground, which you mine. Then go under, and it's a cavern underneath, and you can go through several layers. I've never got past the first layer because I'm a wimp like that. And you can also go into the adventure mode, which is where you go through Maxwell's door. And I haven't done this because I saw my player go through it, and he died as soon as he got through.
For those of you who aren't aware, Maxwell is...
Yeah, sorry, he's the big villain. He's the guy who traps you there. You land on your back, and he says,
"Say, buddy, you don't look so good. Might want to get something to eat before it gets too dark."
Yeah, exactly that. Then he disappears and leaves you to it, and you've got to figure everything out on your own.
Dick.
Yeah.
He really is.
But I think the adventure mode that's more
eventually
story.
It will lead you to Maxwell.
Adventure mode is more story driven, where you survive. You start from scratch again in the adventure mode, and you learn to survive, and you have to search for him.
Maxwell gets progressively more agitated that you're getting nearer to him.
Yeah, and you have to hunt him down, and it's more story-driven. However, if you die in the adventure mode, you get sent straight back to normal world.
However, if you die in the normal world, it's a permanent death system. You'll have to start straight over.
Yeah, there's no save game, and go back to your last save, by the way. It saves as soon as you die. So if you die, you start again. So 105 days, you die, you start from day one. Day one!
Bored in rage.
Okay?
I was going to say, it's sort of like, you seem bitter about this.
105 days, guys.
Some people have complained about the permadeath system, but I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Because you really do feel invested when...
I will rage about it.
The amount of times you've grabbed me by the shoulder and just gone, all those days, 86 days wasted.
Oh no, fucking tentacles, you assholes! Stuff like that. But I'll be so angry about it, and I may sulk and boycott Don't Starve for about a day. Then I'll crawl back very shamedly back to it on my hands and knees and start again.
It's like, I'm sorry. I want
At the
more
moment, it's just like, I'm never playing this game again for as long as I live. 2 days later, Haley, what are you playing? Don't Starve.
So it's addictive. That's the bottom line. And I've said before, I love story-driven games, and this is not story-driven. I think in a way, it's you create the story yourself. Like my story is, I've survived. My max is 105 days. My story is, I played with Wolfie, who is a modded character. I don't know who. I can't actually remember who modded her, I'm afraid. But just search Wolfie on the mod page. And I love Wigfried. She's a completely new character to me, and I love playing with her because she's strong, independent woman who don't need no man.
See, I found the little girl with the lighter to be like really useful, even if she does randomly burn.
I should have suspected she'd be your kindred spirit, Chris. Just sitting there lighter, just going, it edges all.
Yeah, but even like randomly burn stuff is useful because it's like, oh shit, it's dark. She's scared. Oh, she's setting things on fire. Oh, it's light. Oh, that's handy.
Oh, that's the thing as well. Never ever be without light in this game. If it goes light, you will. When it gets dark, you will die.
Well, no, because you slowly go insane. Well, things attack you in the dark, and then you get more insane. The more insane you get, the more substantial the shadows become. The shadows are dark creatures just made out of shadow who attack you, and some are fast when you go really crazy. If you kill them, you can get the...
you redeem your sanity.
You redeem your sanity, but you can also pick up the dark
shadow
stuff that's really cool and handy. But it's also dangerous, and they really hurt, so go in carefully. But that's actually another point you said about Willow with the lighter. Each character has their own quirks. There's a fly on the screen. Don't like flies.
Big on.
And so there's...
Just to give some examples.
Yeah, I mean, in the main game, you've got, without the DLC or any mod, you've got 9 characters. And each are so unique and independent. Wilson...
The main character.
...grows a beard. That's his main thing. He's the main character who you start off with. The beard is handy because you need it later on to make stuff.
It also keeps you warm in winter. That's primarily the reason why I go for Wilson.
Willow, like you said...
This tiny little girl
with pigtails. She carries a teddy bear. Well, she doesn't carry a teddy bear, but in her pictures she has a teddy bear. She has a lighter. She is immune to fire damage, has a sweet lighter.
That's the actual description, has a sweet lighter.
Lights fires when nervous. That's her description. And it goes on. You can play as a robot boy who's not a picky eater. He's charged by lightning, damaged by rain, and can upgrade with gears. So with certain characters, you can upgrade your your sanity amount, the amount of sanity you can have, the amount of hunger you can feel, and you can increase your health, of course.
Yeah.
So there's this one guy, Woody. He's a
Cowboy.
woodcutter with a dark secret. If he doesn't keep cutting woods, eventually he'll turn into a werebeaver and just go on a wood cutting rampage. I am not even kidding.
So you get lovely little quirks like that.
And the worst character is Wes, who's a mime. He can't talk, and he has trouble staying alive. And he practices balloonmancy, whatever the hell that is.
Balloonomancy.
Balloonomancy.
Yep.
Magic with balloons, because, that's a thing. You can tell he dropped out of Hogwarts.
Well, stop giving away all the characters, because we want to go and search it and look up the characters. All the character descriptions are on the Don't Starve wiki page. So, what else can you say about it?
It's just basically an uncompromising wilderness survival game full of science and magic and death and starvation.
Balloon animals.
Yeah, the art style is very nice as well. It's it's more like a 2D comic, like an interactive 2D comic or graphic novel than it is an actual full-out game. And it's actually really nicely done like that, and the way they've worked it into the gameplay is quite good as well. it doesn't ever feel like clunky or like taped on. It flows quite smoothly.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to lose yourself in that game. I mean, when I first got it, I lost myself for around about 5 hours. just like must get more wood, must build all the things,
Must survive.
yeah.
I can't die.
And then I died because I
Don't
felt
starve.
Let's have a look. I've played 570 hours of it.
Jesus.
Yeah. I think I have a problem. Guys!
I think that actually is 181 days, isn't it?
Mm.
No, it's not.
I'll
But
tell you now, I haven't lived that long in the game. Okay?
No, it is a good little game actually. I quite enjoy it. It's like I don't really like games that are done in like the comic book style. Like I haven't liked them before, but then I played Borderlands and it was just like yay.
Walking Dead as well.
Yeah, and then The Walking Dead came out, and it seems everyone's starting to experiment with this more, and they're doing it well, which is quite cool. And I'm really liking.
Oh, come on! Are you telling me you never played 13 on the PS2?
No, I didn't actually.
Can't say I have.
Oh, that was all comic book styled as well.
That's a game you're going to have to talk about, Matt.
It's been so long. Couldn't even tell you.
Break out the old PS2, blow the dust off it, and unearth the games.
Give me a couple of weeks. I think if you got any of you guys got anything else to add for Don't Starve?
It's really intricate. You do have to be careful because if you one misstep, if you don't look after yourself properly, if you don't hoard your materials, you can find yourself dead on a resurrection pad with nothing in the dead of winter. That's another thing as well. You get seasons. In the summer, you get too hot. In the winter, you get too cold.
Well, the summer only comes with the Reign of Giants DLC.
And also now, some of those giants are really, really freaky.
And they're horrible, but I love them.
This is the only one I'm going to tell you about. There's this
I hate
giant,
you, but I love you.
There's this giant
Their
moose
relationship.
goose. A
Yes.
moose goose.
Yeah.
Boost goes.
Like a 7-story tall goose with moose antlers on that will just stomp around.
I've got some screenshots of it actually, and it looks incredible. And the way it moves, it makes like goosey sounds.
A goose from hell.
But it charges you, and there's other things like I don't think Tom has seen.
I've seen the badger.
There's the giant badger that comes and attacks you in winter, and it leaves you with a very. Thing is, with these giants, they leave you really good items behind, so unique items that you can only get from them.
There is a bit of an RPG element to this game.
There's one thing actually that I haven't got any screenshots of, and that Tom hasn't seen, where it's this giant bee-like creature that just anything it touches, it sets on fire. So it's really hard to beat.
A giant bee that sets things on fire.
And it's in the middle of summer, so you're already hot and already dying from a heat stroke. So the more stuff it. And the thing is, these giants, they attack your base, and if you try and lead them away from your base, they'll get bored and turn around and go and smash up your shit again.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's no good.
No.
Especially if in the dead of winter, you've got your lovely little fireplace. Suddenly, this giant badger comes out of nowhere and goes, "You know what? No, kick it."
And they attack you if they attack you in the night time, and you can't. You know, you've got to sacrifice one item. You have to either sacrifice a weapon or a hat to be able to fight them.
Because you need to have a light source, or else you're buggered. Because Charlie will come out of the darkness and take your soul.
Yeah. Num 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 num.
That's actually the name of the big bad thing. Because once it goes dark, if you're out there, you hear this horrific hissing noise. Your character will go, "The hell is that?" Then suddenly you'll start losing health. You'll hear someone slapping your character right across the chops, and 2 seconds later they're dead. And that's it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. The music actually gets slowly more creepy as you go insane. Like you get lots of little background noises as well. It's like it reminded me a lot.
Little things just start to happen when it's dark. You see little glowing eyes, and then shadows start appearing and hands creeping towards you.
And when you go in and start to lose your sanity, the screen also starts to get blurry and a bit dimmer and darker, and so your vision itself is harder to see. So you want to gain your sanity so you can see what the hell you're doing.
It's a bit like amnesia, isn't it?
Yeah. I was about to say it actually reminded
The
me a
sign
lot
of madness is you lose your contact lenses.
Yeah, just because everything slowly gets worse and worse. and you go, no more. I'm just going to hide.
Where you can get strong enough so that you are unbeatable, which I suppose people get to that point and are bored, but you can make it harder because when you start it up, and I always customize the actual game that I play. What you can do is you can change the world, so you can say, I want more.
You want more carrots. You want less trees.
Yeah, or I want more rain. I want more lightning strikes. I want more. I always have more beefalo and more goat because as I play as weak freed, I need plenty of meat. You can also, I mean, what I do as well, because she's strong and I want a challenge, I always say I want more giants because I'm hardcore like that. And to keep dying, that's probably why I keep dying. But, and you can say you can have less of them as well, or lots.
You do get to customize the world you go into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like that element as well because you can also change how long like the day and night cycles are, and if you actually want to have winter seasons or not. So it is quite good that that's in there. It adds a nice customization element to the game as well.
It does, yeah.
And it's just a good all-round game, really. I mean, it's not the most in-depth game in terms of story or anything, but it's a really good game to lose yourself in and have fun in.
But then, as we said on this podcast before, sometimes less is more, and the simplest games can be the most fun games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the most addictive.
Well, yeah. Well, I was going to compare it to like this is a more adult version of Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's
I would say both more adult and more childish at the same time.
It's got like those childlike drawings, which is mixing the innocence with the surreal horror of the game. It's still a horror survival almost.
It does feel like a childhood adventure because you'll always beware of the dark, never be without lights.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Or seen through a child's perspective almost, because there are scary things in the dark. Don't go in the dark.
Oh God, the hands come out of the dark to take my light away.
I want it. No.
Oh, seriously, that actually happens. You get insane enough, you'll just hear this little Jack-in-the-Box music, and you'll see this hand creep slowly towards your fireplace, and if it gets there, it will snatch half your fire away.
Quite a few of these characters are children. Like your favourite character, Willow, is a young girl.
Wendy.
Yeah.
And Wendy, who had... here's another spoiler. One of her gimmicks is that she is haunted by her twin sister, who is a ghost who helps her.
It's a bit twisted.
It is a bit twisted.
It's a dark game, yeah.
It is quite Tim Burton inspired, I will say.
She was my previous favourite character because it was really good. I had to look up how to unlock her sister, though, which I'll tell you if anyone's interested. She is awakened by the more things you kill. So the more you kill, the more she awakens. When the flower's fully bloomed, which is her sister's flower, you drop it on the ground, kill something near it, and poof, Abigail appears
as a ghosty goo.
Yeah.
So you sacrifice the souls of the dead to your dead sister to bring her back to life.
Exactly. Yes.
Right.
That's dark.
It is dark as well. So it's mixing. It's kind of linking back to your game, Chris, where it is mixing childhood, dark fantasy. It's going dark. Well, it goes back to not your game, but going on a conversation of the game.
For the goth and emo kids, this is a sure win for you.
Well, make them a bit depressed, I think.
Well, yeah, that's what the goth and emo kids are like. Life is pain. We're going to die anyway. And that's exactly what happens.
No mascara is as dark as my soul.
We're going to die. This is a game designed by a manic, depressive, emo/goth kid.
My soul is as dark as the night. Really? It's quite. It's not that cloudy outside. It's actually quite bright. Shut up, Frank.
See, that's why goths don't hang with people called Frank.
But I tell you what, you will get absorbed and dragged into it, and you put so much of your life into it.
570 hours.
Yeah, you set your own goals, and you do just become one with the game.
Become one with the game.
Now, how long have you had this game?
Since Christmas.
You've sunk 570 hours in 8 months.
Maybe.
I think you do have
most AAA games. What's the most you get out of them?
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, a lot less.
I'd say, I think in my collective Mass Effect gamings, I don't think I've even reached a quarter of your playtime.
Well, now some people may think, what the hell does she do with her life? I can't really do very much. So while I'm having to rest with my crippled body, I spend my time surviving in a world where I can walk.
Haley.
I think that's similar to Tony's.
You live on games, the people listening to this.
I
No
know.
one's going to judge you.
I'm not saying about
I think
that.
it's similar to with Tony's, who sunk the better part of, I think it's 1,600 hours into Guild Wars 2 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
For that sole reason. It's sort of just like, buggered leg, can't do anything, kids to look after, who look after themselves. Time to play Guild Wars.
Him and his pimp cane, Jesus.
Yeah, the pimp cane, the wolf's head cane.
Yeah. That was hilarious when I last saw him. It's like, not only has he got like a little bit chubbier since I last saw him, but he's also got like a really bitchin' pimp cane. I was like, that's cool.
Oh, I need to get a pimp cane.
Yeah, we're going to get you a pimp cane at some point. So we need to get you something that rivals the wolf's head.
That's it.
Oh, is that what we got?
He's got a wolf's head cane.
We used to have a claw one, didn't you?
I think I did, yeah.
Oh, well. Right, we're going to go out pimp cane shopping now.
See, if I was to get a cane, can I link him back to my game again, actually? If I ever was to get a cane or a walking stick, I'd get one done with, like, the Witcher medallion head. Because the Witcher medallion is a sexy little medallion. It's like a roaring wolf mouth, all done in, like, metal with like, rubies as eyes.
I think I've seen that one, yeah.
Yeah, it is sexy as all kinds of hell.
So if I was to do a pimp stick, it would be the figurehead from the Thunder Child.
Yes.
Sons of Icarus.
Oh,
I think that would be true.
I want one done with like a snow globe on top with like a London inside, because I'm writing a steampunk story with a floating London. It's a snow globe.
That's nothing related to games. How about you?
Just imagine you sitting there shaking it, going, "Dance, my pretties,
Dance, London.
And the
Dance.
snow shall fall.
It is forever snow in London." How about you, Matt? What game would you have?
Ooh. Do you know what? I'd probably have some sort of... It would be really simple and really plain, but it would have the Assassin's Creed emblem.
nice."
Oh.
Like this, the sort of the one of the Creed, and sort of just like have that on there in like a gemstone or something.
YouTubers, comment below. What would be your dream pimp stick?
Couldn't you have like a gemstone apple? You know, Eden's apple with
yes.
Assassin's Creed inside.
That's really cool.
Speaking of Assassin's Creed, I swear there is a house on the Isle of Wight that has the Assassin's Creed symbol on the front of it.
Oh, we're gonna have to see that.
It is fucking uncanny.
Get a picture.
I will. I'm gonna get it because it's near where my daughter lives. I drove past it on the bus once and went, "Which? No, what? No." I had like a sort of little like mini mind fuck on the bus. I was like, "What the fuck? No, I can't have just seen that. That can't." Wait a minute.
Hold up.
Well, because I hold to the ultimate belief that the ultimate way to get something discredited, or if something comes to light, the ultimate way it will get dismissed by the general public is either make a game or make a movie out of it.
That's very true.
No one will believe it because it will already be a fictional work, so people would dismiss it.
Yeah.
I just want to go up to the house, knock it, and if Archimedes comes out, I will just die there on the spot.
No, you want to knock on the door and go, oh, fuck, what is it? Nothing is true. And see if they answer, everything is permitted, and then just a die of a nerdgasm. Just go, ah!
That's it. You hide the ring finger and put it on your chest.
Yeah. That would be fucking epic.
You know we have to do that now when we go down to the Isle of Wight. If they do have the Assassin's Creed symbol on the house, just literally all of us go up, knock on the door, they come in, and then just literally everyone just put their right hands, their left hands.
And then we all disappear for like a few years, and then like selfies start popping us of us just like stabbing people, just going, "Ayo!" to the camera. Hashtag assassin selfie.
Oh, assassin selfie. That's going to be a thing now.
Hashtag eagle dive.
You say it's like Assassin Selfie, it's just going to be loads of people just like... It's like Assassin Selfie is just like you're going to have loads of people just running around in like dress robes and things like that. And it's just like, oh, it's my dressing gown with a hood.
I've actually got an Assassin's Creed hoodie, so I'm set.
Yeah, but then you're going to see one guy with his hairy legs in a pink dressing gown with a hood over his head.
Yeah.
He's deep.
No,
why not?
With rulers, stabbing people with rulers.
No. He's going to the Playboy mansion. He's under deep cover.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Oh, what's the guy who runs the Playboy? What's his name?
Hugh Hefner.
Hugh
Hugh
Hefner.
Hefner.
God, how did I forget that? That's the twist ending. He's secretly the master of assassins.
That would be shitting
Da
epic.
da da da.
That'd make a lot of sense.
And I turn out dead the next morning because I revealed their secret.
It's like all the bunnies are like highly trained assassin bodyguards.
The very best.
Really?
Hey, wouldn't you if you could?
I would,
Well,
yeah.
just trained all these Playboy bunnies to be the most elite of warriors ever.
Because nobody would expect it or suspect.
Yeah, those
It's
little
very
fluff
true,
stuff
and they'd be
they
very
wear.
They would
proficient with hand-to-hand combat.
But
Yeah.
they would probably look the best in assassins' outfits as well.
If you can fight in high heels, you can fight in anything.
No, but they wouldn't fight in high heels. That's just impractical.
Well, yeah, it is. But if you train to fight
High
yourself in the most
heels
impractical
have
situations,
Look,
don't you?
they're not Charlie's Angels.
But it might as well be.
We'll just end up going with like Bayonetta.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah, Bayonetta, she fights in high heels.
It's not only that; she's got guns strapped to her high
Yeah.
heels.
Although, so to be honest, so does actually, what Wonder Woman? I've always seen that picture of her throwing her heels. So she doesn't actually wear heels. She more like throws them at people and fights barefoot.
Yeah, but she flies, so that's cheating anyway. So,
Yeah.
She
And
doesn't-
she that's one thing that bugged me about Wonder Woman. Why does she have an invisible jet?
if she can fly.
yeah, that,
I don't know.
It's not only that. Just what is the point of an invisible jet? Full stop. That's like a power for a 3-year-old.
Yeah, because of reasons, Tom. Because
Yeah.
it's invisible.
Because DC wanted it.
Guys, I let you into a secret, honestly, because sometimes women get sick of the world, get sick of men, and just need a little time on their own. That's why she has an invisible jet.
Even though she could be seen in said invisible jet.
Can she?
Yes, she can.
Yeah.
According to
What's the
Family
point
Guy,
of
yes.
See, it's just, I swear it's just because she just literally does it to troll people who can't fly. Want to come in my invisible jet? The steps right there. Oh, you fell on your face.
Hey there, Batman. Have
Or
fun
maybe it's
walking,
just the
we'll
fact
see you
that
there.
it's not an invisible jet. It's just her flying regularly, just sat down.
Exactly.
That would be fucking epic if someone went to like kind of, get into it, or a supervillain tried to jump onto the jet and just fell past her. Like, shit, I've been rumbled.
That was actually on Robot Chicken. You see Superman, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman going to Aquaman. Come on to the invisible jet. You see Aquaman jump on and falls flat in his face, and they just fly off going,
I've seen that.
moron.
And they're just like, ha ha, dick.
Because Aquaman is the most rubbish of superheroes. Bless him.
We did actually see a gif of him before with him
Flying. His feet on
gliding
two flying fish, holding a reins for 2 more flying fish just in front of him, and it's just like,
I
what the
said,
fuck are you doing?
is that real? Does he really do that? God, he's so lame.
He does
What?
it on dolphins. Yeah, he's quite a lame superhero, but he's not really got much to work with. I mean, his superpower is he can breathe underwater and he can talk to fish. And then he's going up against, like, fucking Batman. Just no.
So, when you describe his powers, it just sounds like a roadshow attraction, doesn't it?
Yeah, you breathe underwater.
Half man, half fish. Meet them.
No,
Yeah.
it sounds like a Channel 4 TV show called The Fish Whisperer.
Yeah,
That's going to
that sounds more like
no,
it.
it's something. We're actually imagining that right now. I mean, if they've got Honey Boo Boo, why not the Fish Whisperer?
Yeah, but you see,
Horse Whisperer, Dog Whisperer. Why
you
not
see
the
that's-
Fish Whisperer?
yeah. See, that's what annoys me about Aquaman. He could actually be a good hero. I mean, the fucker's king of all Atlantis, for fuck's sake.
Why didn't he just
Is
suddenly
he?
come up with a giant squid,
yeah.
just like slap things out of the air?
That's
Why
it.
doesn't
He can
he-
control Cthulhu, damn it.
So I have to say, why did they just sum out Cthulhu?
Because Cthulhu doesn't come from the sea.
Where did he come-
Cthulhu, motherfucker.
Beyond the veil of time and space, that's all I can tell you.
But he's still a sea creature, so
The
therefore...
less spoken of Cthulhu, the better. They may be listening.
I would love to see that Superman gets all shitty with fucking Aquaman. Aquaman goes, that's it, I'll fucking at it with you. Cthulhu, motherfucker.
Just see him riding Cthulhu like in that South Park episode. You and the Dark Lord Cthulhu. You and the Dark Lord Cthulhu. Oh, God.
Cthulhu, he's so misunderstood.
The Kraken. Yeah, that's the
Kraken?
point. Why doesn't he unleash the Kraken?
Unleash the Kraken!
See,
That's
that's
a
actually
very
quite
fair
badass. You just see him standing on the water and just goes, unleash the Kraken. All these giant tentacles come out and just drag all the supervillains down to the crushing black depths of oblivion. And it's just like, yeah, that's how I roll, motherfuckers.
Or just suck
Done.
their face off.
Yeah. Or it just goes and grabs like kind of Superman, and the rest of them like maybe we took the piss out of him a little bit too much.
Just goes on a sheer rampage.
Now ends the era of man. Now begins the era of the sea.
Also, if he can control the seas, why doesn't he actually just summon a massive ass tsunami?
Because he doesn't control the actual sea itself. He just talks to fish.
What's the point of him then?
But I don't know. Just because they needed a water
But he's
element hero.
Aquaman, not Fishman.
Yeah. Well, they
Yeah.
just needed like a water element hero, and yeah, Aquaman.
He needs to talk to Katara.
Avatar reference.
Yeah, Airbender reference for anyone who doesn't know the anime.
Guitar
Last Airbender.
bitch slap Aquaman. She'd probably just like trap him in a sphere of water for the rest of eternity.
And just
Yeah.
like, yeah, where are your fish friends now, you little bitch?
Missed out on that one.
Have we got anything to mention? Anything else to mention about Don't Starve? Just to rein it back in.
Don't starve.
Yeah,
You
don't
really have
starve.
bad
Simply
attention.
enough. No one should starve.
Yeah, that's just advice for life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Feed Africa. Don't starve.
Does it come with a kitten stamp of approval, Hayley?
Oh, definitely.
So make the sound.
What sound?
Boom! Kitten
Boom.
stamp.
Boom.
Boom. There we go.
I would accept it.
See, I'm hoping Tony will put the bump in with a few like flowers and hearts when he puts the pump up, just to make it more special for you.
That's it.
Yay!
It's like, real,
Special
really
stamp.
play it up.
That's the-
Do you know what? I think that's it for tonight.
I
Yeah,
think,
we
yeah.
talked on
I would have done
quite a
Pokemon,
bit.
but I think now we're passing the 2-hour mark. I think it's time to call it.
Listen, I tell you
Yeah.
what, we have to have a Pokemon day. One time,
I think sort of like we did with Mass Effect. I think we
Yes.
could easily just discuss Pokemon.
Yes.
I think we should. I think for the people who came here just for Pokemon, we need to have a brief mention of it. Like, mention your favorite starting Pokemon or something. Who did everyone start with?
I'm
I
currently on
started-
Charmander. Or, well, I have Charmeleon now.
Yeah. I always do Charmander because I'm boss and I like to do it hardcore. Yeah.
See, I just go with Squirtle because it makes sense. Because his polar opposite is a fucking blade of grass. No offense to Bulbasaur fans.
Which is
Well,
like,
it's just
people
like,
are like,
what
I
does
took
grass
Bulbasaur. Is it because the first gym's rock type? Yeah.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
For the
Sorry?
easiest person to go for is Ivysaur because he can also beat rock and then he can also beat the water gym. However,
Shit, that never occurred to me.
see, this is why I'm the Pokemaster, okay? Or
You
you're
actually
not.
finished the
Yeah.
game.
You not finished it?
I've never finished it.
Oh my
I
god,
finished it.
Tom. Finish the game.
Have you two finished it?
Yeah.
Of course.
Chris,
Well,
have you finished Pokemon?
I finished all the Pokemons.
There you go.
Fuck, it's just
Have
me
you guys
then.
played XY?
Yep.
I've only played Red and Blue.
What is XY about then?
XY is like all the other Pokemon games. Do the same thing. Beat randomly generated bad guy characters. Capture
Is it-
ultimate Pokemon. Yay, champion.
Is it a new set of Pokemon though?
Oh Christ, no more.
There are new Pokemon, but it's also interdispersed with the older Pokemon as well, including the original 150. So it's not unlike other games like I think Black and White. Yeah, like it's not just the new gen. There are older gen Pokemon as well, which is nice.
Yeah, see, that was my problem. Because like when I was trying to find a ROM for the emulator, I was just like, Ruby Red, that's going to be the one. And then suddenly it's like, what the fuck is that thing? Like, that's not a proper Pokemon. Get rid of it. Get Flame Red. I was
No,
the
you have,
original.
Yeah,
you have
it's-
like 660 now, or some
It's Fire
stupid number.
Red
now.
and Leaf Green is the GBA version of the originals.
Yeah. So I got Fire Red.
My favourite is going to always be Heart Gold because I know it's like the remake of Gold, but back in the 90s, my favourite was the Crystal version where you could play as a girl for the first time. But anyway, my favourite was Heart Gold because you could play both in the Kanto and Johto region.
You never took the game seriously anyway, because you always think your rival something like "fuck me" or something.
I was a child. I did not do that.
Oh, come on. Who didn't do that? I did.
What, who
It was like-
didn't name their opposing
It's
person?
just like, calm down, fuck me.
I've got some screenshots of that when I did it when I was an adult. But I was a really good child. I was innocent. I never swore until I got to secondary school. Hand on my heart, that's the truth.
No, that is true for most people, I bet.
Yeah, of our
I'm
generation.
trying to find out how many there are currently.
What, Pokemon?
Yeah.
Too many.
Hang
I
on,
agree
hang on.
completely.
Is that counting all the DLC Pokemon that you can get if you pay extra money?
900.
8,900?
8 to 900.
Hang on. According to Wiki, 719.
Oh, I was close.
What the fuck are you going to do with 719 Pokemon?
Do you know the worst thing is? Like, I've seen some, and it's like, it's an ice cream. And it's just like...
I know,
and
they're lazy.
that's it. And like, a Christmas tree. And stuff
about
like
the
that. And I'm just like,
fish?
come on.
The fish that's a heart.
You just see some designs that
Or
are just
the-
really, really fucking stupid.
Or the crescent moon fish. And this is why I got sick of it at what one was that? I think that was Ruby Red and Emerald, or no, not Emerald, Sapphire.
Yeah.
And Sapphire, those two, I got sick. I was just like, no, I can't deal with this. So I went back to the original two. I can handle the original two, but no more.
You had the
Yellow.
Indigo League and you had Johto League. Those
Yeah.
two are fine because Chikorita, she was cute. I liked her.
Yeah, when they did like
Which
the
one was that?
first next gen one.
The second generation of Pokemon.
So that would be Gold and Silver, the Johto League.
Yeah.
Johto.
Yeah, those ones are good. I enjoyed those ones.
Because there were a few other creative designs that were quite, well, again, cute and quite charming. But then suddenly you just got retarded.
Lazy.
Mm.
Yes, lazy.
They just like,
That's
quick,
fine.
go out and take a picture of a random thing and give it a silly name.
Or do a doodle on a page and then
Okay.
call it something on.
What
and
does your
then-
kid have in its hand at the moment? An ice cream. Pokemon. Fuck's sake.
I think we're genuinely gonna. Have to do a whole episode of just Pokemon, and we're gonna have to bring with us our favorite moment, our favorite Pokemon,
and
our least favorite Pokemon, our favorite line, the funniest name that you can find,
Yeah.
stuff like something like that. So
You're going to have to display some screenshots of just calm down. Fuck me.
I've got some on my laptop actually.
Share it on the Kitten page. Share it
I
on the
will
Kitten
do.
page.
I will do. Check out the KITN Facebook page. It'll all be on there.
Yay.
Yay! Advertise. Placement.
Placements, things, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Tom
don't think
and I
it's-
were thinking. Tom and I were thinking about doing this thing where we watch a movie on YouTube and do a shot for every product placement that there is.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Things like the latest Transformers would get so
fucking hell.
sloshed.
How much product placement? And not
You're
even
like Man
silly
of Steel.
done.
You'll get dead.
But
It's even just like I Robot as well.
I will say now, in defense of Man of Steel, it wasn't so much the products themselves, it's just the battle to place
IHOP.
of town.
IHOP! Go to IHOP. If there's anything I learned from Man of Steel, I must go to IHOP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you don't see buses with Victoria's Secrets. You don't see... What was it we saw?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I would have to watch the movie again, because thankfully I blanked most of it from my mind.
I haven't seen it yet. The latest one.
Don't even waste your effort.
Yeah.
Well, the very latest one.
The very latest one, don't even
What?
bother.
Which one?
What was it called?
Extinction or something like that.
Extinction or some...
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
what, Resident
Yeah.
Evil?
No, Transformers.
Transformers?
Yeah.
God, I have no idea. I didn't even pay
Dinosaur
attention.
one.
I was so ragey through it. I was like, I can see someone from the fucking cast,
Camera crew.
camera crew, on screen.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
You might as well be waving at the
Transformers,
camera.
Transformers, Resident Evil, Pokemon. Not necessarily in that order.
Hey, don't knock the Pokemon films. They might be many and varied, but they're still...
Oh, no.
Oh, the Pokemon films. Oh, I love them.
That
Remember-
made me cry. The first
You go
Pokemon
to the first
film.
one,
Oh,
and you
God,
could get
the first one.
You could get the if you went there, you could get the special Mew card from the ticket office.
I didn't get a
fucking
Mew.
get
I
the
got a
fucking-
Dragonite.
Oh, nice. That's
Nice.
a start.
Wait, hang on. What were the dragon types? There were 3 dragon types. What were they?
What do you mean? There were-
Dragatini, Dragonite, Dragonair.
I got Dragonair.
Yeah.
His
I don't know,
attack
what was the
special
big-
ability.
God,
What was the big fat one?
Dragonite.
Dragon.
Yeah, it was
Dragonites. Yes.
I'm so bad. I know most of the Pokemon. I'm such a fucking nerd.
That's not a bad thing.
So
Yeah.
you retain this knowledge, Chris.
Yeah.
I've got a Pokemon Master t-shirt on order from America right now. Okay.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shows what nerds we are here on.
And then there's me, just like, I'm just waiting for my Captain Scarlet ones to turn up, so,
Oh, Captain Scarlet, that takes me back.
It was for a good cause. It was like the whole Captain Scarlet Indestructible, but like 5% went towards like some stroke charity. So I was like, I do my good part and get Captain Scarlet goodies.
Yeah.
See, now I've just got that in the stuck of my head. Leading the fights, this one man, his code name Indestructible, his name Captain Scarlet.
Captain Scarlet. Indestructible. Captain Scarlet. Oh shit! I'm never going to remove that from my head now, you asshole.
On that note, I think we're just about done tonight.
I think we're done. Yeah. So I think it's safe to say it's done. I think that's all we has to go with the usual thing that Tony will go with. There's always the like. There's always the subscribe if you like what you're hearing. How we get this shared around. Because we could always do with a couple of more views. Because otherwise we'll just be talking shit for nothing.
That's what we do anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, we just decided to hit record.
Yeah,
just like crazy rambling.
Everyone. I have a YouTube channel as well.
Let's not forget the YouTube channels, Tony's and Chris's. Click their respective faces.
Yep. Head over to Fratnir Play stuff, and I do other YouTube video type things. So yeah, play us out, man.
Thank you
very much.
I don't know why that almost went into Rock Lobster, but there we go.
Thank you very much.
Shout out names and we'll be done.
In the next one. Have fun.
All right, bye guys.
And that's it.
Yeah, you're gonna be okay.